What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Don't Be Sour. I'm your host, Max Tuning, here with some other people.
Hey.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the least prepared I've ever been for a podcast. Where's my notebook? I don't have one. I just have my little notes on my phone.
Wow.
We had a rough night last night.
Did you? That's what David just said.
I got peer pressured by this guy in Christian.
We had
drinking
3 shots of alcohol.
Those were double shots.
3 double shots. No, they were not doubles. We did not have 6 shots.
Where were y'all? I didn't get invited, so I don't know.
Yeah, you did not.
Yeah.
We went to Postscript.
I don't know what that is.
It's a restaurant. Went there, had some more drinks. David never drinks, and I'm not alive.
Not doing well.
I was at a crawfish boil for 8 hours yesterday, and I have allergies, so I don't feel too great either.
Crawfish is ass, bro.
Crawfish is wonderful.
I've never had it, and I don't really want to.
We talked about last podcast, like southern stuff versus north, and how you're north. Crawfish is a very southern, like.
Are you kidding me? I'm from the Chesapeake, bro. Like, you don't think we had crab parties where they're cracking crabs?
Someone from New York City seeing crawfish is probably like, what the fuck are you?
I think it's, I'm actually wildly turned on watching Taylor eat crawfish because I feel like I don't even want to get my fingers dirty, and Taylor's like,
what get you
throwing
going
that. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that would do it for me.
Yeah, but it's like she's not afraid to get a little messy.
Okay.
That applies, in
other locations.
But I think it's disgusting on the other side because, like, you're like, okay, crawfish. Here's the meat, but you're sucking his eyeballs, his
I don't
wieners.
suck the head,
like,
dude.
what do you like?
Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
I think it's such a disgusting thing. But it is what it is.
So I couldn't have gone to your stupid little fancy stuff anyway. Even if I did get invited, I would have said no.
A typical. Yeah. We don't know.
It's a little rough. Y'all said y'all wanna ask me questions.
Well, last week, we ended the pod saying we're trying to identify which end of the political spectrum Max is on, or Matt.
We're just gonna ask you some questions, but we have no opinion on these questions.
If any of these are like hardcore,
I don't think they
audience dividing questions.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's politics is always
no,
50,
but these are not.
I mean,
these are not super divisive.
Maybe.
Okay.
We could.
It'll tell us how you lean.
We could also answer them for ourselves if that makes Max more comfortable.
Call me Fat Joe because I'm gonna be leaning back.
All right, you ready? We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey,
5 questions.
5
questions.
questions to find out if I am a libertarian, Green Party, Republican, liberal, Democrat. That's all of them, right?
Basically, 5 questions. Ready?
Okay. Yeah. Question 1.
All right. What would you rate Biden out of 10 as a president?
I have no idea.
Just throw a number.
What comes to mind?
Okay, I'm gonna base 10 being good.
Yeah, that's typically how it works.
This isn't YouTube, all right? This is the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 being bad. Okay, I'm gonna look at it here's because I want you to explain. I want to explain how my brain's getting to this answer.
Mm-hmm.
I look at business prices of stuff. Everything seems more expensive. I'm gonna go the fence sitting route. I think a 5.
Joe, what would you say Biden out of 10?
Because
you know what? I'm not gonna go with a 0.
the world hasn't imploded.
I mean, it's not great. I'm gonna go with like a 3.
Oof.
Yeah,
I think
that's higher than I think people think I would say. But
It's probably what Fox News would give it, so that's probably why he did that.
no, they give him like a 2 or 1. Yeah.
I think I'd give him a 2.
Yeah.
I think I'd give him a 2.
Damn.
Not great.
Well, look, he's real old. Like before even anything policy related,
You're gonna be old one day.
he's very old. And I'm not gonna be president.
I did see a clip. Well, I feel like everyone's always like fucking politics talks again. But I did see a clip the other day of him going like, "We are in like the 20th century, the 21st century." But like, I would make that error. I would
let it. Did you see this? Because there was a court that decided. This is like a month ago.
Bro, we're not gonna make this whole podcast about.
No, just one thing. They decided that he couldn't be culpable for having sensitive documents away from the White House
I saw that.
because he was too old to really know what he was doing. And then he did a press conference after for like 3 minutes trying to defend that he really knows what's going on. And then he mixed up the president of Mexico with
France
with Egypt.
Is that kind of like the
yeah.
girl that like smoked weed and killed her boyfriend, and then she got off the hook because they said no, that was like the weed affecting her. It wasn't her.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right, next question.
All right, here we go.
Well, wait. Let's expand on that real quick.
I don't want this podcast
No.
to
Shut
be
up,
about.
Max. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, we're not saying anything bad. All right. So you gave him a 5.
Okay.
And you
gave me-
said?
This is a political podcast now.
Yeah. You gave him a 5.
Yeah, because I'm in the middle.
Okay. What would you give Trump?
That is the next question.
Ooh.
And you can base it on your
That was
same
4 years
criteria.
ago.
How about this? Because of, I think, the humor that Trump's presidency brought into my life with the memes and the weird stuff, 6.5.
6.5.
6.5.
All right. Now,
So he's
hold
slightly more to the
up.
right
I'm going
based
to keep
on
going
this.
here. Obama. You lived through all these, so you can just give him numbers.
Honestly, I feel like when Obama was in office, I feel like everything was like really Gucci.
Wait. Trump. We both gotta stay up to date on this.
I think I think, but see, I don't know. I don't have any data to back this
No, it's
up.
fine. Just how you feel. It doesn't matter.
But I also
I'm
think-
asking that.
So we're not asking for any explanation at all. Well, you got to give a brief one. You gave his comment.
I think
that's
I would
fine.
rate Obama even higher
Okay.
based on what?
because
And what number?
7.5
And based on what?
because I feel like there just wasn't as much complaining about all the problems of the world that I was witnessing, but I feel like the world could have just been simpler and maybe social media wasn't as vocal and as much. So
You're also
maybe
younger. You didn't own a business then and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know shit back then and now. But
Okay,
like,
one more, and then we'll track back real quick. But one more, Bush. That would have probably been the earliest that you would have remembered.
I don't know. I don't. These are the questions came up with. What number do you rate the presidents? I don't
you
even know
won't
what
fucking commit to anything, so we just have to go on like basic point system here.
George Bush. The only thing I hear about George Bush is that what do they say? George Bush caused 9/11. That's what people say.
Well,
Maybe.
you say what you say.
I don't know anything about George Bush.
Throw out a number.
I don't have it's 7.
Okay, so
Okay.
we
All right.
got Biden 5, Trump 6.5,
Obama was 7, I think.
Obama 7.5,
Ah.
and what was Bush?
7.
All right.
Okay, what are your ratings here?
I would give Trump an 8.
Give a brief
This is
explanation
the
for each.
shittiest podcast intro. I'm so
No,
sorry.
people
Max, shut
are
up.
going to be engaging with this.
I think Trump at policies and stuff like 10 out of 10. I think actually as far as what he did for the country, 10 out of 10. I think he's a fucking idiot and says shit he shouldn't say sometimes. So
Damn, Joe.
that's going to drop some points.
Everyone's gonna go. Of course, Joe. Give
Yeah.
up.
I mean, no,
Trump.
like genuinely nothing bad happened under Trump. Obviously, like the pandemic, that wasn't his fucking fault. Like policy wise, economy wise, where we were as a country under Trump, I think was the best we've been in the last 20 years.
Everyone, do not worry.
He's an
when I
idiot.
am back in office,
Honestly,
we will take the
if you could
world.
have put Biden or somebody as the spokesperson and let Trump do the policies behind him, I think we'd be great. If you put someone that would just shut up and not fucking say stupid shit and let Trump put his policies in place, we'd have the perfect
Shut up and
perfect
dribble,
group.
right?
So
Pretty
you
much.
You
yeah.
said 8.
I'd say 8 just because there's so much drama and shit around him. But I think policy wise, 10.
I'd say we're kind of in line here. I might say 8.25.
There you go.
The world was a better place too. There was wars weren't being facilitated. The economy was in a good place, but he says divisive things that make people hate each other. So that's why the minus points.
I'm
Okay.
so
Obama.
bored. I'm
all right,
so
all right.
bored.
No. We'll stop there.
You're not, no, just give me Obama and Bush without explanation.
See,
my
but Bush,
God.
I'm like nostalgic, right? Like Bush, I saw Bush like we're gonna go get them after 9/11. So for me, I'm like Bush was one of the best presidents. I think he was actually one of the worst presidents.
Because they manufactured all the
Yeah.
evidence.
But at the time, like that was a big deal.
To me,
Like,
Bush is a 3. It's slightly better than Biden, and Obama's probably a
I think he's right
4
there with-
because he
yeah.
was charismatic, but I think his policy was shit.
yeah, I agree with that. I'll give you that. All right,
right.
Max, come on.
All right, we got another
Get back,
question.
wake up.
We'll stop rating the presidents out of 10.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why? You want to know why I'm the host, guys? Because I make this shit good. These 1 out of
we're almost
5
done,
ones.
dude.
All right, keep going.
That's 2 questions out of 5.
Next one. John
Okay.
F. Kennedy. What do you rate him?
No. From a conceptual, theoretical place, do you prefer high taxes?
Conceptual, theoretical.
Do you prefer high taxes with the intent of helping people out, or low taxes and less government involvement in things?
I think there should be a flat tax.
The fuck does that mean?
I think that like it should be like 5%. Whether you make a lot of money or little money, you pay 5%.
No,
10%,
okay.
whatever
But that's
the
not
number is.
Not the question.
Okay.
Do you believe in higher taxes, more government, or lower taxes, let the businesses run shit? That's you can answer that. You own a business. Why is this a hard thing to
Every
answer?
single person, like in those context, of course, I would be like, yeah, the government, less government, let people run their own
Perfect.
business.
There you go. Done.
Okay.
Who
good.
would choose the other?
Well, people
About
who
50% of the fucking population.
people who believe the government should be more involved. With
I'm drawing
welfare
a
and-
line, bro. I don't wanna be-
He's not okay. All right. So to summarize really quick,
That's like-
he rated Trump
Bro,
higher than Biden.
You're
and he
basically asking
prefers
questions
less
like,
government.
do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think
He's
that
leaning-
we
he's
should
leaning
have?
red, dude.
Do you think we should have a lot of war or no war? Like,
That's honestly not a bad question.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the next question that leads us right into that. Do you believe the U.S., regardless of if you support Israel,
Oh, here
Russia,
we go.
Ukraine, regardless of who you think's right in these issues,
Okay.
do you think the U.S. should be involved in foreign wars for whatever reason, or they should not be?
I do not know enough about the scenario, but taken as face value, in my opinion, I feel like what I hear a lot of echoes online that says like, hey, we have a lot of problems in our country that maybe before, it's kind of like, hey, the plane's crashing, put your mask on before you put mask on someone else, right? Like you gotta help yourself before you can help others. You can't help others if you don't help yourself. But I feel like there's more depth to it than just that face value thing. But I also think it's like, hey, if Joe, walking down the street and some people were like, I'm gonna beat Joe up, I'm gonna help Joe. Joe's getting beat up, not me. They're like, man, Max, you're cool, but I'm gonna help Joe because he's my boy, right? So maybe we got other countries. We're like, hey, I know it's not our problem, but like, we'll help.
Okay, that's a very safe answer.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a
The
very
last question, right?
All right, yeah, we know. I could, me and you, I feel like could go deep on
Yeah,
this.
we're gonna let it go.
But we're gonna let it go because
Yeah.
it's Max's podcast. Okay, this last one.
Okay.
Do you believe it's too easy to buy a gun in the United States?
After you bought 2 guns.
Oh yes,
I think it's too
Do
easy.
you think it should be harder?
yeah, for sure.
What should be different? I mean, they did a background check. They ran your ID.
Yeah, but it was like just like 2 minutes. I feel
So if the background check took longer, you'd feel better
no,
about it?
it's not about taking longer. I just feel like listen, they should go, hey, what are you gonna do with this gun? Okay, and if someone goes, someone pissed me off, I'm like gonna go, rob a store with it. I'd be
but
like,
no one's
don't
gonna fucking
dumb it
say
down, like,
that.
you can't sell you one.
No one's saying that.
I just feel like it.
He just
should-
solved the gun problem.
Just ask what they're gonna
are
do
you
with
gonna do
it
anything
first.
illegal? While I was like, oh, this is convenient how simple and quick it is to buy this Glock 19 with the extended clip,
You didn't do that.
banana clip,
Yeah.
red dot sight,
is that what you got?
silencer,
got none
scrub
of
the
this stuff.
serial number off
Yeah.
it. I also was like, wow, that was in 5 minutes. I walked out with a gun that you could just go immediately do a crime.
Yeah.
So, like, what would be the right answer? What would be the answer of?
No, I mean, that's just
No, we're just seeing where you're
based
at.
on your answers.
He's pretty in the middle, but a little.
I'm gonna say you're conservative.
I say he's.
I'd say you're leaning conservative.
Is that good or bad?
If a one's,
It depends on who's watching.
but I say if like a one's ultra liberal, a 10's ultra conservative, he's like a 6, like slightly more that way.
I think you're conservative. I don't think you're a Republican. You can be one or the other. There's conservative Democrats.
Okay, let me get your guys' question on this because I'm not against guns. The worry is if we have kids in the house, there's some statistics that a lot of kids
Yeah.
end up like killing them or themselves or their
Yeah,
friends
yeah,
with
yeah.
guns. What's your you guys both own guns. What's your thoughts about that?
I think
when you have kids?
the minute I have a kid in my house, I am locking the guns up. I'll have a safe in the closet and I'll have a locking nightstand.
Here's the
next to my
thing.
bed.
Here's the thing.
And can't they figure that out?
I mean,
They can't find the key.
but also like I was a kid. There were guns in my house growing. I mean, I think a part of it is just like teaching your kids. Like I knew how to load a gun and shoot a gun at like 6 years old.
You think that made it?
You're so.
I think that made it better. I don't
less-
think I ever was like, hey, let's go to my dad's room and look at these guns because it was like I was allowed to, I don't know. I never had that like. I think the issue is you like have your friends over and you know where your dad keeps his guns. You want to go show your dad. Like you're trying to show off and then you end up. I don't know. I think I don't
but
know.
here's the
It's
thing.
a hard one.
I imagine they have some newer, smarter like locks.
Well,
and
they have,
stuff.
like,
Well, they
finger
have
scanners.
biometric ones too. Yeah, so you just like
So you're sleeping.
Yeah, 'cause you're just
sleeping and you can't take your-
Because I guess that's the argument. If you lock your guns up and you need them,
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I would. Yes, locking them up. I mean, the other option would be like just keeping them out like you normally would. Nah.
Well, no, but like you can keep it in, next to the nightstand. Like you can keep it in the nightstand and then hope
Not-
your kid
not
doesn't go
locked.
in your nightstand. Yeah, I mean,
Maybe you could just make it. Here's the thing. What if, unless your kid's watching this,
Yeah.
what if you're just like, hey, a routine, when I go to bed, I unlock the drawer, and when I wake up, I lock the drawer.
I forget to do that.
well, that's why you make it a routine. I forgot
know.
to floss all the time. Now I floss every night, Joe.
Do you?
I do. I've been flossing for like 7, 8 months.
I can't
can
stay
tell it's nice.
consistent. I can't stay
Good job,
consistent
dude.
with the floss.
yeah, no, I'm telling you. Here's the thing. It's one of those. It's annoying. First of all, when you floss, you ever, like,
Do you get all
smell
the way
flo-
to the back?
You got to get all the way to the back.
Is it like
tough.
a water pick or like floss?
No, I use real floss, and I've tried the other things, but the problem is that like I've had so much like whether it be like cavities or fillings or like crowns that like my my teeth aren't like perfectly spaced, so I can't use any of the tools. I have to use like my fingers.
Bro, I have that stupid permanent bottom retainer thing.
Loser.
Like a metal thing.
It's stuck in there?
Yeah. It's there forever. And like I can't, like you have to like feed it under it to floss those. So it's,
Damn, I would
not
hate
fun.
my life if I had that.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Heidi has that too.
All right, so Max is a Confederate-loving conservative. And what else are we doing today?
We hand the keys back to you on the podcast.
Now we know the truth now. Max
okay.
is from the South.
No, I got a little story. I want to tell you. I want to tell you.
Half of your audience hates you.
I want to tell you a little story, dude, because I almost had I had an experience the other night. This is the dog story. Okay, this is the dog.
There's
What
something
dog?
here that he wishes he had his rape whistle. I think. Let's see what happens.
Something happened?
I
you
had
mace a
my
dog?
mace. No,
I know
so
my rats.
I've already told you that it's an epidemic in my neighborhood that I'm not making these numbers up. I've probably witnessed 7 different dogs get out in the past like year. Like, so I'm walking the street, just a dog out. Oh, different dog. In the same neighborhood, it blows my mind how so many people can have all of their dogs getting out, right? 2 days ago, Taylor and I are walking. This dog, another one, new one, okay, we're almost to the house. We have all 3 dogs. This dog comes and it starts coming close, and then all of a sudden, him and dude, like this dog starts snarling.
Were all 3 dogs with you?
Yeah, all 3 dogs,
Okay.
but only dude and this dog. And this dog lunged at dude, like teeth snarling, like lunged at dude.
Bo and Rolo weren't.
No, they were just
involved?
kind of looking at it.
They
looking at the
don't
dog.
Watching?
And
They don't get involved in foreign
it
wars.
was the first moment. It was this moment that so Taylor like threw her leg in between like the dog. Like this dog, I mean, I've never seen dude get.
What kind of dog was it?
It was a mix of something. I don't know.
Okay.
Did it look
But
aggressive?
teeth snarling,
We're talking dude
lunged
size,
at dude.
smaller,
about
bigger?
the same size as dude.
No, but was
it's
it
a
like
good
a
dog.
was it like an aggressive breed, like Senna? Or?
No.
What do you mean Senna's not an aggressive breed?
She's the definition of an aggressive.
Nah,
she's not.
it wasn't a friendly
That's racial
experience,
profiling.
and there was like it was a moment that I was like, shit's potentially about to go down. Okay,
Got your mace?
it was the first moment. No, I thought in my head, it was like everything happening in slow motion, where I was like, oh shit, like this is one of those moments, and it was the first time that I lunged for the dog, and as it's happening, right? Luckily, like the dog ended up skirting away, but I lunged to this dog, and it was a moment I was like in slow motion going, because I go in my brain, I actually don't know what is about to happen. I was like, if I get my hands on this dog who's like literally like going at dude, I was like, I don't know what I'm about to do next. It was the first moment that I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna take this dog and throw it to the moon. I don't know if I'm gonna hold the dog. I like didn't know what my next move was gonna do, and I was like, I might get in trouble for what I'm about to do to like protect dude if this dog is like going on dude.
I don't think you get in trouble if someone's
What
dog's
happened?
just off leash. Just
Luckily, as soon as I do it, the dog starts Taylor kind of got in the way, and then the dog got
Yeah.
away, and then I heard the person like running down the street to like get the dog. And
Did you like yell at the person?
what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
your
feel like people,
dog.
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
keep
hit
your
him with
dog
the,
on a
like, yeah,
leash,
like put your
yeah.
dog on a leash. With
Bro,
the
I had a
dog.
dog come out, break free from the leash that was tied to the tree, run at dude. I pick dude up. The dog is barking and jumping at dude, circling me. The guy comes out, grabs the dog. I'm holding dude. The guy doesn't say a single freaking word to me. Not I'm sorry, not the dog is friendly, not don't worry, not oh my God, like nothing. Just hey. Takes him back.
Your neighborhood's wild.
I hate it. Blow, bro. I don't know.
blow.
Here's the
Blow.
thing, but if a dog latched on to dude, I think I would go just savage mode, and I don't know what I would do.
I feel like
I don't know what I would
kick
do.
a dog in the ribs if he was like his
Yeah.
mouth was attached to my dog.
I would do whatever it takes. Like, if it was me versus dog, like dog's not winning.
See, lucky for me, I have the aggressive dog, so
Your dog will win.
I don't have to. Yeah, I don't. I just let
Sure,
her
you'll
fight her own
just-
fights.
You
I'm
just,
like,
you
"Ah."
just let go of the leash.
Yeah, dogs right at Senna. I'm like, you sure you want to do that? Senna and fucking
Senna
Rolo
scared
had
the
beef,
shit
dude.
out of Rolo.
Yeah, Senna and Rolo got beef.
Do you remember we were throwing the ball? Senna must have just looked at him the wrong way.
Well, and then she
Rolo
wanted
went-
to go at Bo, and then fucking like we were holding her back. And
It was
Bo
Joe's
ran off.
dog was
Bo
battling
was like
David's
going
dog.
at him. I was like,
Bo
all right.
thinks he's my small dog. He thinks he can take Senna. He can't. He thinks he can. Rolo knows. Rolo went and jumped in the trunk. Remember? And Rolo loves
Yeah,
playing
Senna's
ball,
100-pound Doberman, and Bo is a 25-pound
but he thinks he can win.
tiny dog.
Bo thinks he can win.
Yeah,
He would not win. Mr. Beast called me.
that did happen.
That I didn't tell my audience, but
Wow.
yeah, Mr. Beast,
Yep.
Jimmy himself.
Beast number 2.
Yeah. DM me, and then he called me. Had a 45-minute chat with Mr. Beast, and it was just about candy. It was about Feastables and sour strips and asking me like
Collab?
He's way more involved in the company than I thought because I assumed he's so busy doing these videos, but he even worded it kind of like he's like I have such a great like a big team that he's like I'm essentially just like the face of it. He's like I still have a lot of input, but he's like I just kind of like I'll go film for a long period of time like all back to back, and then it's just them editing all the videos, and then he's like kind of has a little bit off time. Then he works from the candy company, but that was cool.
How many companies does he have? He has like Feastables
And like the burgers, but I think
But
he
the
stopped
burgers,
the
he probably doesn't
burgers.
do any- they were-
I'm sure he's got like philanthropy. He's a busy dude.
But the chocolate bars is his main like money making business.
I would no.
He's
I would,
got merch and
social
stuff, right?
media.
YouTube,
social
yeah.
media is probably like more, but he wants.
I meant like product or service.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
think the candy is probably the big one.
yeah, no, he wants to.
The Mr. Beast, and I know they're like ghost kitchens, but I was telling Max the worst burger. I ordered it one night late in Austin before we moved to Spain. It was the worst burger I ever had.
Yo, random, real quick, back to the dog thing.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this? Because Taylor's kind of against it. If your dog poops, okay,
Yeah.
you got a bag, you pick it up. Can you throw the poop bag in a random trash can that's out in the street?
No.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Yeah.
It's a trash can.
If I open my trash can and there's a dog shit in there from someone else's dog, like I'm looking at the cameras.
It's
and
on.
someone's
It's in a
getting it.
bag, bro.
If my trash is okay, it depends if the trash hasn't been picked up or not yet. If you put it in there after it's picked up and I have
cares?
a week, because I don't want your dog's hot shit in my trash can for a week.
It's just gonna get.
I'm with Max on this one. I'm with Max.
No.
I'm not trying to carry the dog shit.
I actually think it's illegal. I don't know if it's illegal.
What?
But yeah, I don't think you can go through someone else's trash.
I'm not going through it.
You're not going.
He's added to it.
I'm lifting it up. I'm throwing the poop in there.
I remember as a kid.
You're saying other people's trash.
Yeah.
Like
At the end of the driveway.
So,
Yeah.
so you're gonna walk the entire walk with just holding this
I
bag
think
of
that's
shit when
on
there's
you,
a.
dude. Yeah. That's
Nah.
why I figured out the best solution. I just don't pick up Senate shit. Just wherever
I
it
don't-
falls.
that's
I don't-
lower on the chain, man.
That's where it stays.
I don't pick up in my own yard.
Yeah.
I don't pick up dudes' poop.
No, I wouldn't.
No, and someone
I mean,
else's-
shovel it and put it somewhere else.
But like in the front yard, backyard doesn't matter. I've never picked up dudes' poop.
So all right, let me
Never walked in it
clarify.
either.
I live
someone
in a
else's
stupid
yard.
fucking apartment now, but there's a Bed Bath & Beyond that has a bunch of grass.
You live like uptown or midtown,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
There's a Bed Bath & Beyond with a bunch of grass, and they shut down because all Bed Bath. I think all of them are gone now.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah. So it's literally just like homeless people sleeping outside of it, and
Bed
that's
Bath
it.
& Beyond is not shut down.
I think most of them did. Anyway, my point is like I don't pick up Senna's shit, but it's a big field in front of a old building that no one's there. It's just like
It's not someone's
Senna's the
yard.
no,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
in someone's yard. I pick
If there's
it
a
up.
big field, you don't. Yeah.
I agree. If there's a lot of like brush too, like regardless where it is, and it's like down in the middle of the brush, I'm not
Now
gonna
if it's a
find
park,
it
I probably
anyway.
would,
Yeah.
but
What happens if you just take a shit in the middle of the grass?
Picks it
I
up.
wouldn't pick it up.
Hey, OJ died
Saw that.
I did.
recently, and
Bro.
a lot of people like what I guess
94 years old, something like that.
Caitlyn Jenner went
He's
after
not
him.
94.
I think
He was 72.
94.
that's
Yeah.
the number that came to my head, man. I don't know.
72, prostate cancer.
Everyone
got
was
him.
very like pro him dying.
Bro, the crazy shit was Caitlyn Jenner got called out about it because she said good riddance, which is crazy.
Wait, good
One,
riddance.
because
Good riddance meaning she was celebrating it.
yeah, pretty much like
Okay.
good riddance because I think it's like unanimously
Wasn't
agreed that like
she
he
the-
killed somebody. I think at this
His
point
wife.
like everyone yeah no I know, but I think like
It was like the bloody.
he got away with it, but like everyone's always just like he did it. Like,
Right.
we know, but so I think she was going off of that, but then she killed somebody. It was an
Caitlyn Jenner?
accident. Yeah, she ran some lady over with a car.
How long ago?
10 years ago?
bro. That's
Wait,
what-
really?
That's since the South Park episode.
Yeah, there's
She
all
was
South
running
Park.
people over.
Yeah, she is-
It was. I think it was an accident, but everyone pointed out. Like,
Okay.
everyone's very quick to point out. Like, oh, like you're gonna like.
Do you know
talk
the
shit about
details
her.
of this? I'm
No,
gonna look
I think
this
it was like
up.
a multi-car accident, but I think she ran someone over.
Yeah.
but
like a pedestrian.
I don't. I,
I
don't
think
know.
that's the whole white Bronco thing, right? Or that's
No, OJ is the white Bronco. But then even the internet's a crazy place. Even crazier than that is like so. It's weird because Caitlyn Bruce was married to who's the mom?
Kendall. No,
Chris.
Chris.
Okay, Chris's original, the
Husband
Kardashians' original husband
was the lawyer for OJ,
I
right?
don't think because that was Cochran.
can I-
but I
Oh,
think
right.
he was like the assistant lawyer. He was involved in the case somehow. So it's kind of crazy that it's all fucking connected. And then everyone for the longest time, because of that, had always assumed that Chloe's dad was OJ Simpson. Because Chloe doesn't look like the other sisters. She's kind of like darker complexion. She has a different face and everything. So for a long time, it was like I don't know if it was a joke or like a conspiracy that Chris and OJ ended up hooking up during that whole trial or whatever. So anyway, Khloe Kardashian has a bunch of people saying like R.I.P. like we give you our condolences for your dad passing away. Like
What?
yeah, go look at her Twitter. There's like thousands of comments of people like claiming that her dad is OJ.
What?
It's all connected, dude.
I don't know.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm looking through.
Do y'all watch the news like at night? Do you like put on the news at like 5 o'clock?
The news?
Yeah.
I just watched
What the fuck is the
YouTube
news?
clips.
Like I don't know the news.
No. Unless like something happened. So like yesterday I was at the crawfish boil and I saw that Iran has officially attacked Israel, and like I saw it on Instagram, and then I Googled like I think I saw like an MSNBC. I saw some article and then I watched that video to see what's
So
going
what
on.
happens with that? They said it's kamikaze drones.
It's like drones and missiles, which not
Like
that
a
big of a
like a
deal.
drone-
'Cause, yeah, Israel's got a pretty good.
It's not that big of a deal.
No, because they have a really good the Iron Dome. So they took out like 99%. I think only like 10 rockets actually hit. I don't think
How
anyone's
many
actually
rockets?
died. I think like over 100. But
When you say drones, like
yeah,
little DJI drones.
I think maybe cheaper. Yeah, but basically C4 strapped on a drone and.
No, these are drones that are like I was watching yesterday. I think they're like $50K to $100K per drone.
Oh yeah, because they have to fly. I'm sure they're not like within 700 feet.
They
like,
fly like 150 miles an hour. So I think they took like 7 hours to get from Iran to Israel, something like that. So they have a lot farther range than our drones.
Yeah, that happened
Not
much
to
last night.
joke about that.
And that's why now you'll see all the World War III memes are popping back up on Instagram and shit. Taylor's gonna be sending us World War III memes again.
I can't find the Caitlyn Jenner clip. I saw a clip of it. She was in a
She definitely was involved in something where someone died.
She was in a big SUV and she smashed through a little Toyota Prius in front of her.
Something, yeah.
She had a big trailer attached to her car too.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on? I mean, this is
So
Is it America?
Look, I'll stay very. I don't care about either side.
I'll give my
stance
thoughts
here.
after you. Yeah.
The issue is, regardless which side you're on, Russia and China kind of back Iran or Iran, depending on. I think it's Iran. So this is kind of the turning point of like this has never happened before because we back Israel. Technically, I think like the UK and like the European countries, NATO will back Israel. So them attacking Israel now, I think they said they're done. I think they sent all these drones and we're like, we're good. We're not going to do anything
I don't
else.
think you can say that. I don't
I
think you
know.
can be like,
Well,
all right, we're going to send a couple bombs.
I think this was
but
a
that's it.
retaliation against Israel for something they did, but Israel's retaliating based on
So they're
Iran's
basically saying like,
proxies doing shit to them.
I just punched them one time because they punched me, but now I'm done.
Kinda, but
Basically.
it's
That doesn't make sense.
But no, Israel bombed an Iranian consulate in Syria.
But they do that because Iran's funding all the people attacking. It's a weird thing. It'd be like if you were constantly getting fucked with from like 80 different little candy companies, and those little candy companies were being funded and given guns and stuff by Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, but that's not
like
the
they're
best.
behind it. They're giving the money and telling them what to do. So it's like they've been attacking them the whole fucking time. It's just not them. It's a proxy. Now this is the first time that they've actually said like we're gonna send missiles and shit, and that's why it's a big deal.
It's a proxy war at the end of the day. It's a
Yeah.
proxy war. You have U.S. and you have Iran, and the U.S. supports Israel.
Okay.
And I mean, there's a lot of controversy about supporting them recently because of what they've been doing to Palestine and Gaza. But yeah, we'll see what happens next.
The big point is like now if Israel retaliates, if it turns into an all-out war between Iran and Israel, like we have to get involved, which then would beg the question, like does Russia get involved on Iran's position? That could potentially be the catalyst for World War III.
There's
Like,
gonna
this
be a
is
lot
the
of-
closest we've been in a while.
There's going to be a lot of U.S. politicians you'd consider to be like war hawks who, and there's questionable reasons for why they would want the war, who are going to be pushing for military readiness at least against Iran.
It's a blanket statement that nobody wants war, right?
No, because there's
Not
a lot
the
of
companies that make money on it.
you know,
Stark Industries.
like Boeing, Lockheed Martin. You know when you hear that the U.S. sent $100 billion in aid to Ukraine, for example, really it's these U.S. based companies that make the missiles and the weapons, and the U.S. government pays them $100 billion. They make all this money, and then they ship the weapons to. It's called the military industrial complex. That's really the reasons that the U.S. supports most of these wars, is because there's a lot of money to be made from.
You know,
them.
maybe it's my simpleton type of mindset, but like, I just can't wrap my head around like this is gonna sound like very hippie like, but I'm like, why can't every country just like why? It's wild to me that people are just like, I'm gonna attack another part of the world. Be like, what? Like,
There's a long
just everyone
standing-
just stop and chill.
that particular area of the world is just it's been in conflict forever.
But what really sucks.
Is their goal to like wipe? Is certain areas just
We're not
want to
going to
like
get into this whole fucking thing because it's a never-ending argument. But like the idea is that Israel shouldn't be. If a lot of the countries in the area think that Israel, because basically
Israel was gifted
in a very high, at a very high level, like English colonization or whatever, took it during World War I, I believe, or World War II, and then after World War II, they kind of gave it to the Jewish community because
Yes.
of the Nazis and stuff as a place to resettle.
But the Palestinians still see it as their land.
Yeah, because they
and
used to live there. So It's a never. It's there. Also, that region is all of like the holiest lands. I mean,
That's where Jerusalem is. That's where
that area of the world is probably the most valuable, not only in oil but like religious. Like there's a shit ton of oil there, and there's every religious site
all the origins of Christianity.
But is the goal
and Islam.
to attack a specific area? I'm not talking about specifically Iran and Israel, but like, is it to attack it and then be like, this is ours now?
I honestly,
this is now America. This is now Russia. Like,
no, I honestly think it's the war economy. Like, there's all these huge companies. That's how they make their money, is by creating weapons.
Yeah,
but like the morale, there's just so many people. That,
no, it
like,
sucks because
the morality.
A lot
of
it is, yes. Like Russia wants Ukraine because that's their land. They believe that's their land. Palestine doesn't like Israel because they believe that's their land, and China wants Taiwan because they believe that's their land. All the countries, I think, kind of, yes, you're right. They're going after the land.
But what really sucks is that there's politicians that make these decisions, and then regular people just die. That's the thing that really sucks, right? People fight. We're not in the military.
Hey,
thank you to everyone who is in the military.
Side question to violence. Did y'all get beat up as a kid? Did y'all get bullied?
No,
I got punched in the face one time.
I broke my nose actually at school.
Like, you know when you see movies and stuff and kids are like shoved in lockers? Like that doesn't actually happen.
We put a kid in the locker.
I got out. We locked you in a dumpster, didn't we? Yeah, I got out.
I got in some fights. I never got put in a locker. I don't think I ever put anyone in a locker ever.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I ever witnessed people.
No, I mean like turning someone upside down. Like I never saw that.
No, it was more like just punching each other.
Like give me your lunch money. Is that that's not?
I think
a real
it
thing.
was.
Like you better do my homework. Or I'm gonna beat you up after school.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's happened.
That's not a real thing.
I think that happens. Yeah. I do.
No one has beaten someone up because they didn't do their English paper. That's
guarantee you. I guarantee you someone has gotten beaten up because they did it and they didn't get a good enough grade.
Bro, kids are mean.
Yeah.
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 If your kid was getting bullied, do you go to the parents and say like, stop that?
I think my kids, especially if they're boys, I'm gonna take them to like martial arts classes so that they actually know how to defend themselves. So because if they know like BJJ and some kid at school throws a punch, they're just gonna fucking throw that kid on the floor.
Then do they
what do they
respond grade? Or do they fucking use, I guess you got to teach them right, but at the same time, like, what's to stop them from like, now I know how to do this. This kid's get on my nerves. I'm gonna beat his ass at school.
Generally, as a rule, people who like know how to fight, are more controlling.
And then also,
of it.
Bro, nowadays, like, I guess with little kids it's different, but nowadays I see articles all the time of people in like bar fights where like someone got pushed and they threw a punch and the guy fell back and hit his head and died, and now they're in jail for the rest of their lives. And it's like, dude, that's like almost not worth.
That's why I'm afraid.
But that's also the reason that. One reason I don't like going to like bars and being hammered because it just turns into stupid situations.
Like the number of times I've seen, or like someone gets punched and then they get sued for like $3 million. It's just like nowadays, like throwing a punch is a.
I'd be too afraid if I punched someone, they would just like you seen Thanos when he snapped, like that'd be like that. I would punch him and they would just dissolve.
That could happen
because I can deadlift 650. Well, not right now, but like imagine 650-pound deadlift coming at your face.
Well, there's something that's interesting in Marbella where we were living. There's a lot of Russians and actually Ukrainians and a lot of things. And at the gym we went to, the paddle club, the one that wasn't as nice. Yeah, no, not the IO, the other one. They do like martial arts classes for kids, and it's just all the Russian kids learning how to fight. Like the Russian parents are just having they learn from a young age how to fight. They're all doing BJJ and Muay Thai and everything.
Oh,
the energy level is very low right now.
I was actually I like to do some real life.
We're
stuff.
jumping all over. This is the ADD podcast. In a good way. Keep going.
Yeah, like a little different thing. Oh, because my brain jumps around like
that's what happens when you don't have notes.
We're like going back to the war, then going back to the fucking.
Bro, my brain is like, if you could live in my brain, you'd be like, this is crazy. So like
I feel like we're going deep on the war, and then all of a sudden we're talking about BJJ.
Because I don't want to talk about politics, man. Like
war is not politics.
I feel like we're just like everyone just calls me an idiot for like not spending 6 hours a day watching the news, or I don't know. Complete opposite of that. Every single night, Taylor and I will make like dinner or eat dinner or something, and we eat like on the couch at the coffee table. And a lot of it, I'm like, man, should we like be sitting at the table and like talking? Like, what's your thoughts on eating food in front of the TV? Like, should you be eating?
For me and Julia, at least since we moved into the new house, if we're like specifically like we're winding down earlier, like 7 p.m., we know we're gonna watch like a whole movie. We'll go eat upstairs and watch it. But if it's like if that's not gonna be the purpose of the night, we kind of been starting to actually eat at the dining table recently. So and it's nice, a little glass of wine, little meal.
Yeah, but like for you and Julia, that y'all spend the whole day together because y'all work together. Like, what do you talk about at dinner? Hey, how was your day? Oh no, we did the same thing.
Silence.
Non-work
forks
stuff.
Hitting plates.
Just forks hitting plates.
Well, I live alone, so I eat in front of the TV. You know, I got no one to talk to.
Joe's finally making a house decision.
No,
catch me
shit
up,
went down.
Catch me up to speed.
No, I don't know. I'm getting there. We're getting close.
So you're trying to buy a house or build a house?
Yeah, I'm trying to buy a house, but then I found out, unfortunately, the amount of money I would have to pay to break my lease. It's much higher than I thought it was.
How many months do you have left?
All right, dude. Actually, let me help
many
y'all
months
out.
you got left?
I have 5 payments left.
5 months.
Yeah.
Or 6 months.
5
Was
months.
the first
Yeah.
It's like
months already paid.
$30,000, by the way.
So here's the problem, right?
Total.
So standard
5,000 a month?
Standard.
5,500.
No, standard is 2 months. I think standard in Texas is 2 months rent. So
Or three,
if
maybe.
your rent's $2,000, you owe $4,000 to get out of it whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little thing that apparently a lot of apartments do. I didn't see this on the contract. They informed me after I asked. There's a little fine text at the bottom that's basically like your concessions are awarded for. It's a reward for completing your lease. So any concessions have to be paid back in full.
So the
if you
free
do not
rent you got-
complete. So I had 3 months free rent. So for me to break my lease, it's two months plus 3 months. So it'd be
They gave
5
you 3
months.
months free.
Yeah,
Because they're
but
trying to get the occupancy
apparently,
up.
if you break your lease before it's supposed to be over, you,
Yeah, but
you
like,
have to repay
can you
that.
find
Which I
someone
kind
to-
of get that.
Yeah, that
like
makes
if you
sense.
offer someone a discount to buy 1 million bags of sour strips and they only buy 500 and say we don't want the rest, like now you kind of need to make that.
Yeah.
I get
I'd
it.
beat him up.
Yeah, but so now I'm like, I feel like I should probably wait and be a responsible human instead of throwing away $30,000. I should probably just.
Is there a house on the market you want?
Yeah, I found a spec home out in Fulshire that I was
Yeah,
like
it's
in
like
love
an
with.
hour and a half
So it's,
away.
it's just being finished completion
No,
now?
it's done right. It's already
It
ready.
just
I
got-
can move in tomorrow.
But it's like brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
Where is it?
Awesome out to Fulshire.
What the fuck is Fulshire?
Like
It's middle of
north of
nowhere.
Rosenberg. It's about 30 minutes from here.
Rosenberg.
It's a
I-
lot
I-
closer to work for me, but it's
It's like
further
30
from-
minutes if there's no traffic and you're the only one on the road.
There is no traffic because no one lives out there. So,
Mortgage
but there's
rates.
nothing out there.
What's the neighborhood like?
like
spec homes?
Riverstone, like,
How-
like
how big
beginning
are-
of Riverstone again.
How big are the plots?
The one I was looking at, I think is 75 foot. Like
What acres?
I don't know, probably 0.4.
Okay, so it's like a bigger Riverstone neighborhood.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the bigger.
Yeah. The 75-foot fronts.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's nice.
I mean, it's like a 4,000 square foot house, big backyard, big front yard, side yard. I mean, it's a very nice house. It's
send me
done
a
very
link.
well. I'll send it to you. It's a big 1 story. But now I'm like, it's not going to be available in 3 months, and I just can't. It doesn't make sense for me
I
to
saw
swallow the
mortgage rates are over 7. right now.
7.25, but you can buy them down. So that's another.
So
thing with this.
they were last week. They were a 6.8 or something.
No,
right?
they've been 7s this whole time. I think
think
it depends on your
they got into
lender and who
6s.
it is. Yeah. The perk for me of buying a spec home is like, as the big builders will offer, so they do like rate buy downs. So they'll do a 4.9 because they're lending it through themselves and they're trying to give you incentive to buy the house. So you get a lower rate, you get all these other things. So the idea was, instead of building a house right now, I just go buy a spec home because we have really good relationships with all the builders for the cabinet stuff. And then in like 3 or 4 years, go
Are
build a
your
house.
cabinets in this spec?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, so I'm getting I get an insane deal on the house if I wanted.
So it's not like a Meritage that builds like 1 million houses.
No, well, it is. It's Highland, but it's Highland's higher end stuff.
Okay.
So
I bet we come back in 8 months and Joe is still in the apartment.
no,
Re-signed his
I'm
lease.
done, bro. I can't do the apartment anymore.
It's tough with a dog, man. It's tough
No,
with
dude,
a dog.
the dog's annoying.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hate Houston. I've never hated Houston, and now that I live there, like Houston's a shithole.
I want you to know that
The whole city.
I told
Shithole.
you. I
But
told
are you
it's a
in
bad idea.
Midtown?
I am in. I'm off Kirby. I said this the last time. I am in the most expensive luxury zip code in Houston,
like
and I
River-
still, I'm in River Oaks,
River
Tanglewood
Oaks,
area.
okay.
And I'm still like, this is a shithole. There's fucking dirt bikes doing wheelies down the fucking road at 2 a.m. every night. There's gunshots sometimes.
Is it you?
There's homeless people wandering around. There's trash fucking everywhere. Like,
The worst part's the elevator rides. Once
and like we have 4 elevators, one fucking works.
Yeah,
so
that's
then
always
you're
how it
waiting
is.
10 minutes
Yeah.
for an elevator. There's
Yeah.
dog piss in the elevator. Like, I can go on and on. I hate Houston. I am not built to be in a city.
How do you
I don't
really
know
feel
how
about it,
people
though?
live in New York. After living in Houston, and I'm like, there's too many fucking people and it's dirty. And then I go online, like, New York's way worse. I can't imagine paying $5,000 a month for a shoebox apartment in New York to live in that shit.
So that is one reason I liked downtown Austin, because it's not like a real downtown. It's not like as
I don't
congested.
like downtown Austin either. But yeah, I know, I get it.
I'm done. I'm
good.
done with the downtown life.
I'm
either
not
way.
going to say that it's. I'm sure for some people it's great. For me, I prefer a little bit more country, less
Well,
people, bigger land.
Are you
bigger plots.
30 now?
I'll be 30 in June. Yeah.
Oof.
I think once you get to 30, 20s, living downtown. I feel like
Hey,
once you get to 30.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest
yeah,
thing. Everyone's
yeah.
like, oh, like you live downtown, so you can go out and stuff. Like, I don't want to go out.
You can,
Sounds
if you're
terrible.
dating
Well, you don't
and
get
stuff.
invited to go out. Like we were downtown with dinner and you didn't get invited.
Would have been nice.
You know,
No, he's had the crawfish boil.
I want to put it out there that I don't know if I definitely thought it with you, but I don't know if I said it, but I definitely said it with you. bad idea. Move downtown the apartment, and in my head I was like, "Wow, dude, what? Moving to Spain? What?"
You told me.
Look,
me.
And
Max did talk shit to me about
Max
the
is
apartment,
right.
but it was for me initially, it was a good idea. I got out of my house. I didn't have to buy another house when everything was fucked up. I basically sold my house at the peak of the market and wasn't forced to buy a house at the peak of the market. I just rented.
No, that's a win.
It's a good idea. Now I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah, whatever
I've
you
been
got to
there for a
tell
year.
yourself.
I'm good.
Whatever you got to tell yourself.
Max just wants everyone to live out in the suburbs, a nice, stable,
Well,
boring
I mean,
life.
Max, you did. You lived in downtown DC or wherever. I don't know what the fuck you were.
Yeah, I lied. I mean,
What do you prefer? I mean, did you like that or do you like your house with your...
I love the house.
Okay.
But you have
Yeah.
a dog. You have a fiance.
You know what I love
you
the
need-
most?
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
love
he
the
lived
most?
alone for a while in that house.
For a long time.
Well, the funny thing is, Julia and I actually moved into Max's house a few weeks before Taylor. Remember that?
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we moved out.
Pre-Spain.
You know what I love the most about being in the suburbs is that when you wake up in the suburbs and there's not cars honking, ambulances driving by, noise, like traffic, and you just wake up and you got one little annoying dog maybe I hear barking, but like other than that, like it's peaceful.
You can go for a walk.
Bro, I hear sirens.
I never liked going for walks. Now that we're in like a nice neighborhood, I like going for walks.
Yeah, bro. I carry I walk in at night. I have a fucking pistol on my hip.
You carry your pistol?
Oh, bro, and are you kidding? The number of times like I have homeless people like come up to me, ask me for money, like in dark alleyways, because I walk to the Bed Bath & Beyond behind it through the alleyway, and they'll be like, "Fuck," you'll walk by a dumpster and some dude's just like, "Hi," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Why don't you bring your mace?
They walk up to a.
Yeah. I mean, I will say,
Why don't you just hit him with your purse, dude?
Senna helps. Like Senna's actually probably a good dog for Houston because it kind of keeps people at bay a little bit.
Bro, you're 6'4", 200 pounds with a Doberman. You're worried about people coming up to you?
I'm just in
and a
Houston,
gun,
yeah.
and he's strapped.
Yeah,
And he's
bro,
strapped.
shit goes down. in
He's
Houston.
itching to use it.
Don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
He's itching to use it.
Where like when I lived in Sugar Land, I left my fucking door unlocked all night. My car was unlocked outside. Like
We should do a prank on him one night. One of us might get shot, but we should do a YouTube prank on him one night.
should do it.
Yeah.
It's a prank, dude. It's a prank.
Trying to rob Joe.
You can try. Yeah, I don't know. That was my big. I got a pistol when I was like, I guess 21. Right, that's when you can own one. I had it in my truck.
So was it before that?
Yeah, I leave my truck unlocked. I had that pistol from 21 to 29, no problems. A fucking week after moving to Houston, someone broke my window and stole my pistol out my gun. Like, around my truck.
Was it in the garage at the apartment building?
Yes.
There's no cameras in the apartment?
No, there's no cameras in the garage because they're not liable for things that happen in the garage. They don't want to be liable for that shit.
That actually happened in the apartment we lived in
Just like-
in Austin. The cars would get broken into.
I made it 9 years, no problems in Sugar Land. Moved to Houston 2 weeks.
So you're trying to buy a house. You just bought a house. I'm building a house.
I just built a house.
A lot of people
Built
now.
2 houses.
I just built 3 houses.
I watch a lot. I've been consuming a lot of content on YouTube recently about like the whole, I guess the situation about like middle class disappearing, cost of living going up, people can't, rent going up, people
What's
can't
real?
afford. Like
What's real?
I'm like a huge consumer of this content at the moment, and because I just like hearing perspectives, and I just like, I don't know, I like consuming the content. What's your thoughts on the middle class disappearing? Because I kind of understand
Hey,
it.
all right, we're gonna get to that, but can I vent for a second?
Yeah, let's go.
What are you mad about now?
Dude, I bought my last house. So I didn't realize until now, because the rates are so high, I'm seeing it. I didn't realize that the rates actually, your mortgage isn't that bad on a 30-year note. On a 30-year note at like $500,000, your actual note is like 20.
What's your note?
What you're actually
Monthly
paying
payment?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the mortgage, it's like $2,600. It's actually not that bad.
With a 7%.
Yeah, even with 7, the 7 to a 4, actually, it is a lot. But I mean, on a month-to-month basis, I think it's like $500, $400. It's actually not that big of a deal.
Joe.
It's property taxes. I did not realize. So like $1,800 a month in property taxes.
Should I tell them I'm paying a property tax?
Oh, you're paying more than that.
Oh, bro, that's what we
That
were
is
saying.
like-
I want to build this house
Yeah.
and not have a mortgage, and then I learned it's probably going to cost
Bro.
me $8 to $10 grand a month just to exist in this house.
They sent me the monthly, and they're like, "Do you want your property taxes outright or in the month to month?" And I'm like, "You know what? Put it in the month to month. I just want to see what it does." It goes from like $2,400 to $4,800 just because of property tax. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I just pay mine at the end of the year and don't think
I mean, it's the
about
same
it.
thing either way, but I'm like, that is
yeah.
nuts to me that you buy a house, you do all of this, and then you have to pay like 20 grand a year on $1 million home.
So the problem is we're in a brand new development.
Yeah,
so,
that's how
so they
Fulshire
just,
is.
They
It's
just
like 2.75.
Yes, exactly, because they just had a private company run all the utilities, so they take an additional like 0.8% of property taxes.
I can't
You
believe
can't win.
I'm paying like $6K a month.
I know,
property.
everyone's like, oh, the
And,
seven-
property taxes alone.
Yeah,
is
everyone's like,
6K.
oh, the 7% interest is so hard. I'm like, no, it's the property. We need to worry about getting the property.
I can't
taxes
believe
lower.
that if you like pay off your house, like whether you buy the house in full, if you're fortunate enough to do some extravagant thing like that, or you're like, I worked towards my debt, I paid off my mortgage, I'm debt free, like, but you still have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars a month.
You are.
What?
Your neighborhood is the lowest tax rate in Fort Bend County. So you have that going for you. Your
Don't
neighborhood
say my
is-
neighborhood.
No, but I'm saying your neighborhood is a 1.7.
That's real low.
No, I know. That's
real
like
low.
why
You
I wanted
jealous?
to build out there. I mean, the level of house you're
Is
going
it-
to build is still going to be.
Is it on septic then, not sewage?
He's on septic.
Oh,
yeah.
I got to put a septic tank
You
in.
gotta have shit all over.
I
his
gotta
road.
have-
Yeah.
But that saves you a lot of money on property tax.
But yeah,
Does it?
Fulshear is
Yeah.
almost 3%. So on
They add a lot extra.
$1 million
Yeah.
home, you're $30,000 a year in taxes.
I officially started, haven't announced this on my vlog yet. I have started the process of building this house. Started with the architect. If you guys want to know, an architect to completely design from scratch, I'm going to tell you the price of this.
I just paid all this shit.
I think it was slightly less than this, but like $25,000.
That's what I paid too.
Honestly, that's not
For
for
someone-
the level of house you're building. That's not bad. Because you're talking 7,000 plus square feet. Because typically it's a.
I'm
I
not
thought it
building a
was.
7,000+.
That's
What
what
am
you
I-
said.
What am I, a basketball player?
What
What
is
am I-
it? What is it?
Like 6,000.
like 6,850.
But it's just bigger
It's,
rooms,
like, it's typically
bro.
like a dollar. Like the square footage is what drives that price. So actually, 25 is not bad for fully engineered drawings. Like it's a pretty good deal.
I'm excited to get this going. We went and looked at the land yesterday, and
I'm excited, but it's gonna be a lot better watching someone else build the house. Because when you're building the house, it's like you're just so anxious to live. You're so excited to live there.
You
Yeah.
buying the lot next door?
so I actually,
Right.
so the lot next to me is for sale, or no, it's not for sale. It's just like
Not
it's not
used.
Yeah, it's not used. So I sent a letter. I found this website where I found the people who own the lot.
It's public record, but yeah.
I like to think I'm like a hacker. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
So I got this really encrypted data, and then
Yeah.
I sent them a letter. And I don't know if this is weird, but I sent them a letter, and I said, "Hey, my name is Max. I purchased a lot in the neighborhood, and I'm interested to know if like your lot at this address, like if you're open to selling it,
Yeah.
like, and I'd like if you are, here's my email, here's my phone number." But in my head, I'm like, do you think they're gonna think it's like a scam or something, or like it's gonna send them a
they might
letter?
reach out. Initially, I thought you should rezone them and build your house
Yeah,
in the
but
middle. But
here's-
now I'm actually thinking you
No.
don't do that.
Here's what I found out though. I found out that there's only like 2 spots in the whole neighborhood. All the other ones, like when you look at like Zillow or whatever that shows
Yeah.
the plots, it's like they're all outlined, and like one lot ends and another lot starts. With the lot that is next to me, there is a gap between.
Oh, there's that power thing.
There's a drainage easement, so I would have to like probably spend. The architect was like, "You can, but you'd have to go to the city.
You'd have to shift
Yeah,
it to the other
yeah.
side
I'd
of
have
the plot.
to. He's
You'd
like,
have
you
to
might
pay
have to
for
like
all of it, too.
split it to go through both. I'm like, what is that? How much is that?
and
You think?
I mean,
$100,000?
yeah, probably more than that. But
It'd be a long time of permits.
yeah, I mean, I think the better thing is just have that lot, and then you either flip it later or sell it to a friend, or build like a garage or something on it. There's nothing stopping
barn.
you
It's
from
gonna be like
building
$500,000. You're like, just
no.
grab it, bro.
I'm saying like whether you get it or not, I don't think I would rezone it. I would just hold because at some point when all the roads and shit are done out there, that's gonna be $1 million lot at some point. Might be 10 years
I'll
from
be
now.
a real
but-
estate investor.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be like, see that piece of grass
And
over
then
there?
you
It's
can
not
control
mowed?
who moves in next to you too. That's kind of the nice thing. It's like you could sell it to somebody you want to sell it to. Christian could build there or something instead of some random person.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Christian said he wants a 5-acre plot.
No, never mind.
Here's the thing.
Where
Here's the thing.
fuck's he gonna go? Like,
The lot that I want to buy,
Wimberley?
I like it better than our lot because it's a rectangle, whereas mine kind of like V. It's a slightly smaller, but it V's, whereas the other ones it doesn't V. It's like exactly
Bro,
width.
your lot is more than big enough to build your
I know,
7,000 square foot
But like,
house.
if next door there's just a like it doesn't narrow down, it's just the same width across, so you wouldn't have to.
Should I buy the plot next to me?
But here's what
the
I'm
plot next to
saying.
my
Let
new
me get
house
what
is
I'm
for sale,
saying.
too.
yeah, but out where you are, I bet you can.
I asked.
Or I bet they're gonna force you to build.
Yeah,
I bet out
yeah.
there you can't just buy it and sit on it for 10 years. Like,
no, I could.
maybe not
But here's the thing. I couldn't move if I wanted to
could make some money
because
on that.
because the lot. That's where I was Taylor to marry me. I can't be like, all right, we're
Well,
gonna
don't sell the other one. You still keep it. Go plant a little garden over there.
just a
Yeah.
$500,000 garden, dude.
Yeah, there you go. You're rich.
You now got me thinking about buying the plot that's next to me.
In Austin,
Yeah. Our house is already built, but the plot next to us is
Bro,
open.
I'm doing well.
And
but
we're on the
I don't-
corner. We
I
don't know neighbors.
Land barring a full-on war or a crazy economical collapse.
No, but they're building
Land
houses.
value never goes down. I'm just saying, like, you buy that lot, like
In 5 years
it will
would
go
be-
up. It's not going down.
In 5 years, it would be like one of the only 2 or 3 plots
So
left in the
that's
hood.
what I'm saying. I don't think anyone in the history of mankind has lost money on land
Well, I could take some of the Spain house. Anyway, this
besides Native
I,
Americans.
I have been, but see, I'm more like, even though you'd make more in
Native Americans.
they lost on that one, but
See, what's crazy is like, look,
but now I'm thinking about the property taxes of
yeah, so you got to own that lot too.
I'm gonna use some random numbers for analogy. Let's just say someone's in a position to have there's a piece of land that's call it $100,000. I don't know, whatever. $100,000 a piece of land. Let's say you're like in 5 years, that's gonna be worth $500,000. Let's say it's gonna go up $100,000 each year. You're like in 5 years you can sell it for $500,000, $600,000. Crazy return, right? But like you won't see that money until 5 years from now.
and there's friction to selling it. You have to find the right buyer. There's transaction costs.
I would rather have like the 100,000 and put it in something where I'm making like, let's say $1,000 a month, but then I can see me making money.
And it's liquid.
every month.
It's also liquid.
Yeah, because in my head I'm like, there's like 2 more plots in the neighborhood that are on the water that I'm like, once those are gone, like I'm like, should I just buy some like another lot in the neighborhood? But that's like, what if with my luck, bro? It's like you watch a stock for like a month, right? And you're like, no, I'm not going to buy that, right? And it's like going up, and then you're like, no, I'm not going to buy it. And you like check a week later, and it's even higher. And you check a week later, it's even higher. And you're like, no, it's got to go down. 3 weeks later, it's just through the moon. You're like, God damn, you know what? Fine, buy, crash. Every time, every fucking
me too.
time,
That's every time I'm buying a
every
used.
single time, and that's what's going to happen if I was to buy a lot. Because I'd be like, okay, everyone says buy property. That's what I should do, real estate, right? Yeah. I'd buy this lot. It would just be like, oh, that lot. Oh, you shouldn't have bought that one.
So I don't want to rain on your parade here, Max, but you have to pay property taxes. Property taxes are only going to go up in that area because they're building all of it out. So as infrastructure goes out there, your taxes are going to go up to probably 3% at some point.
Okay.
And that's based on what some asshole from the state claims your house is worth, and you can fight that.
Wait, real
but
quick.
it's based on their evaluation of your house.
One thing.
Yeah.
Because me and Max were talking about this.
Yeah.
It's such a scam and such bullshit that, like, if you build a nicer house, the property tax is higher. It should just be based like, this is the property tax for owning this piece of land.
No, I agree.
But it's
But
like,
that's
oh,
not-
me and Max talking about it. It's like, oh, I chose a nicer countertop, so now I have to pay you guys more taxes. That's such a
It should just
So-
go off the square footage of the house.
I
or
think
just
they
I think
do,
just a
but
piece of land. Like
the issue is
I have this piece of land. I now to own this piece of land, whatever I do with it, it's mine. I pay you guys.
It
this
should be
fee.
square footage. It should be like $10 a square foot of the lot size, not the house.
Of the lot size.
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
But it's based on his evaluation. So your taxes go up to 3%, and your house is going up in value that whole time.
House.
Your house. I'm sick. All right.
Is
Your
that what we're
house
calling
might be
puberty
worth.
now?
Your house might be worth. I'm coming off TRT. All right. Shit's all over the place.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm just but I'm saying, like, your house might be $2 million, but 5 years from now, when all those roads are in there and stuff, they may come in and say, hey, this is a $6 million house.
Oh.
Okay. So now you owe 3% on. I'm just saying your property tax is gonna be insane.
So
it's gonna only go up.
And for each piece of land you own, every month, it's
your
just like,
year to year is gonna go up every year. While
Okay,
you live there.
I want to get y'all's vote.
Yeah.
Yes or no, okay? If let's say the funds are available, if the lot next to me if the person is like, yes, I would sell it, and let's say it's the same price as my current lot or like it's fair value, would you say if you could afford it, you should buy the lot next to you?
if I was you, no.
Ooh.
I just
Not the answer I thought you'd give me.
I think no.
Why?
And you don't need that cash for anything else.
Nah.
It's just plain money.
Sure. In a hypothetical scenario.
I would.
Oh, okay. I want to hear why yes, why no.
It's also, though, like, you're kind of playing the market here, because once you build this behemoth of a perfect looking custom house next to it, that lot is worth more money.
It is going to be perfect.
Someone would rather build next to that than a fucking trailer home. So, like, it ends up boosting that lot's value because people typically want all the nice houses in the same spot.
Okay, so I see the yes if you have the cash and like, okay, instead of investing this somewhere else, I just hold this piece of land.
And I know I won't hate my neighbors because it's me.
Well, no, and that's why like I'm like, maybe I do this in Austin. The no is like, I just don't feel like owning another fucking, like the paperwork and all the shit of owning another piece of property.
But wouldn't the idea be like,
and then if I don't want it and I have
it's
to
just
sell
like
it,
a savings account because you could sell it whenever.
but that's not real estate. You can't just sell it whenever. You can put it up for sale whenever. That doesn't mean there's going to be a buyer who walks through the door.
Yeah, I mean, think how long your lot was on the market before you. I mean, there's a lot in that neighborhood that's been there Before you bought yours, it was there, and it's still there at the same price.
Here's the thing, though.
You could be waiting at 2 years theoretically.
The lot. So when I went to buy this piece of property that I'm going to build the house on, like the day before, I looked at a lot in a nice neighborhood that was like gated, whatever. It was a half an acre lot, narrower, long, but it was half an acre, and it was $1 million. It was twice as expensive for less than half the space, right? But
Gated neighborhoods, the price goes up a lot.
Oh, and its location. Max location sucks.
At that time, before I saw the lot that I ended up buying, I was like, I was gonna buy this lot. I was like, I love this, right? Before I found this new one, then it didn't end up going with it. It just went back on the market. It was $1 million for the half acre.
Yeah.
Right now, it's relisted $1.3 million.
But that doesn't mean they're going to sell it.
I know, but in my head, yeah, because I'm like,
The market's not going in that direction.
all the
right
lots
now.
that I check for property like every week, a couple times a week, I just like to see what's available because I have like the same search radius I did when I bought this lot. Just I'm like, what is popping up? It has been the same lots since the day that none of them have gone off. Like I've seen all the same ones every single day for the past 6 months.
Look, I would say if you're looking at just like an investment standpoint, I'd go a little bit further out and just buy land. Like if I'm not saying the lot next to you, I'm saying like go a little bit further out, like where the roads are going, and go buy like 50 fucking acres.
How
and
about
just
we
sit on
all
that
go
for
in
20 years?
the cornfield next near
That's
me?
what I'm saying.
It's going for $15 million
that's
because
a little
of
strong.
because of the new highway.
But you go further out. I'm just saying, like I know a lot of people that have gotten very, very rich because they owned 500 acres, and 20 years later, a road goes through there, and a development comes in there, and now they're making $30 million. I mean, look at our mutual friend's family ranch out in Houston. That I think the guy bought it for like $800,000 20 years ago, and now it's worth like $30 million or something.
Here's the thing too.
Because Beltway 8's going through the lot, like it's literally going right through the ranch.
You're gambling a little bit, but
whether you make your money back or not, just being able to in a conversation when you're talking to another guy, just be like, I own a couple pieces of property, a couple pieces of land, and they're just like, oh man,
it's not worth it. I've been able to say that the last couple of years. It's not worth the stress.
When this Potter goes up, you know what day it is?
Monday.
Okay, what day is that?
April 15th.
Okay,
Tax day.
Tax.
Yeah.
Tax day.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
It's a heavy tax day for
I'm
everyone.
good. For the first time in 5 years, I paid before. I'm good.
Oh no, I
do an extension every year, and this is the first year I didn't have to do it.
Well, I have to do an
I'm good.
extension, but I'm still paying tomorrow, and it's not going to be fun.
What's your thoughts on taxes?
Stupid.
We asked you about taxes at the beginning, Max.
Yeah, no, that's because I think taxes should be lower.
I think we should see a direct one-to-one. I think the issue I have with taxes is like the taxes are supposed to go into making the country better, and they don't. They go into wars and shit, which I get it, but like when I'm seeing 30% of my income be taken away, and I'm still seeing potholes and shitty infrastructure and fucking airports falling apart and everything else, I'm like, where's this money going?
Bro, this is 1,000% it. I'm not against high taxes. I just don't trust the government to use that money wisely. If I knew they took 50%, let's say you say it went up to 50%, they took 60% of my income, but I knew it was like really helping people in poverty, really helping improve schools and roads and things.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to pay 60%, but I wouldn't be like, to me, it's like I'm sending these hundreds of thousands of dollars to the government. You're sending even more than that. And I'm like, yeah, this is getting fucking like flushed down the toilet in the Middle East or something.
You know what, Joe?
Yeah.
You're a
Well, hold up. I feel like Europe's better about that. Like, I feel like Spain, the taxes are high, but then the infrastructure is a lot better taken care of. Maybe not Spain, but like Switzerland. Very high taxes, and I feel like all their roads are perfect. Everything's clean.
Spain as well.
Yeah. I feel like the U.S. is like, we're going to take all this money, and then they either put it into new areas of the country they want to develop and not your area. I just feel like I don't see any improvements in our area.
Here's the
ever.
thing. In Europe, you're in a socialist economy, and you know that like there's high taxes, but you kind of get the benefits of a socialist economy. I feel like the U.S., we basically have socialist tax rates, but then since it's not like a socialist economy, they just take all our money for nothing.
Yeah, no, I hate. And especially the property tax thing's stupid. That literally ruined my whole day when I saw the property taxes.
No, bro.
I was pissed. I told the guy at like the loan officer guy, I'm like, dude, property taxes are high. He's like, yeah, nothing we can do about that though. He's like, not even we're talking about.
Remember, because y'all were in Gold's Gym in Austin when I decided to buy the piece of land that we're living on now. Yeah. I didn't realize how much the property taxes were going to be at that point. Once we made the architectural plans and everything, I realized, and I was like,
hold on.
I think I went down the wrong path.
I have a big brain idea.
What?
So, Joe, you're a nerd.
Yeah.
You can code stuff.
Sometimes.
Okay, we present to the next president of the United States when he comes in and be like, hey, do you want something that is going to blow people away?
Trump will like that.
Okay? Trump's going to be, tell me more.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. You want 30 Chick-fil-A milkshakes. Joe, you develop a website, okay, that it goes wheremytaxmoneygoing.com.
No one knows.
And what is what it?
I can't track this
And
shit.
you integrate. Let me finish.
The government's literally like failed or not done the last like 10 years of audits. Or there's some statistic where it's not even
Billions
audited.
of dollars a year just go missing
Without
They don't know where
audit.
the fuck it
Yeah.
went.
Okay, before I was rudely interrupted. Okay, you go on this website.
Yeah.
wheremytaxmoneybegoing.com.
Where my country gone?
And you enter Joe Boppity Boopy. You
Yeah.
put in your social security number 555-555555, and it goes. It shows you a little icon of your money, and it goes, all right, we thank you for your taxes. This percentage went to this. This went to that. Here's where you helped here.
If
And then
they
you
don't
can-
know where it's going, how the fuck am I going to know where it's going?
That'd be great for us. The government would never do that, man. They don't want us to know.
I think
We can make that website and we can tell a fake story for each
Yeah.
person's taxes.
You know what triggers me whenever people are like, whenever someone owes a bunch of taxes, there's these all these gurus that are like, if you owe any money in tax at all, your accountants, shit, dude, I pay $0 in taxes because I do a 1031 exchange, I do this, I buy this property here. But I'm like, no matter what, when you're like getting out of taxes by doing all this stuff, like you're just moving the problem to like a further date. Like at some point when you're done, when you're like, I'm stopping all that, it's going to catch up to you. Like you're going to have to pay money because you rolled real estate
There's
here.
definitely, I mean, there's loopholes, but yes.
I think unless you're running like a legit big corporation, I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth the headache for us worrying about all that. We just pay our taxes, man.
Yeah.
We're just good citizens.
Do you think with these videos that I watch on like the middle class disappearing and everything, a lot of people are saying that.
We never even answered that question, but
Oh yeah, what do you think about the middle class disappearing?
What is it?
Well, the idea is
the
that
distribution
Is
of
this
wealth.
a fucking sales ploy?
The
by
idea
some
is
media,
that-
or is it actually disappearing?
Explain it, David.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna have the perfect explanation here.
Was there a bigger gap?
No, we're
between
experts
the-
on everything.
Well, yeah, there's a bigger gap between the rich and the poor, and then they say the more that like retail investors get involved, like because with the stock market, generally when it crashes, people who have available reserves, they can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
People who don't have available reserves, they lost all the money they had invested.
Yeah.
I don't know. They say I don't know, but I agree. Has there been the biggest exchange in wealth in the history? Because I see that YouTube title a lot, but I don't.
I think that your big businesses are making more money now than ever before. But I also think a lot of it is just fucking inflation. I think inflation. I saw the
inflation
other day, it's like
by
the
definition
average-
hurts people with less money
Yeah,
because
yeah,
everything
yeah.
costs more for them. Versus, like you've told me recently, like, let's invest all this money in the money market because the interest rates are high, right? So like we can take advantage of inflation. A lot of people who don't have that level of money saved up, they just get fucked by it.
Yeah. No,
I agree. I'm sure it is happening. I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a solution for it.
It's like
We
how
have
do
to
you
stop
save
inflation first off, and then you got to up wages, but that's just going to cause prices to go up. So I think we're kind of fucked.
As we talked about last time. Yeah.
Not really a good solution for this.
I want to transition into some
The first transition to the pod.
I know. I want to transition into not like a money conversation, but I want to hear your thoughts on like the psychology of this like scenario, right? So as people work and work and work and try to build wealth and for themselves, their families, their loved ones, like whatever, and then they want to get to retirement. And the retirement has, historically been this thing of like, okay, when you're 65, that's when you can enjoy the fruits of your labors. And you hear about all the people that say, like I want to enjoy like my life now, or I don't want to like start having fun at 65 and spend all this money and whatever. But like, everyone's like working to get to this like dollar amount in their head that like if I have this amount of money, then I can like retire. Or if I have this amount of money, I can like stop working. But generally, people just keep going and going. And I'm like, at what point do you think is enough money? And I know it's a very maybe, I don't know if pretentious is the word, but I always feel weird talking because we're doing well. So maybe I'm talking out of pocket of people that maybe are like, oh, it's hard for me to get to a point where I'm comfortable with money. But like, at what point do you think having enough money, like you're done trying to accumulate this wealth because like you'll never spend this amount of money, or like you probably need less than you think? Because a lot of things is like, okay, when you retire and you have a certain amount of money, like what will you do in your day? And they're like, I'm going to do this. It's like, but could you do that now? Be like, well, yeah, but I need more money.
I think it's 100% dependent on your lifestyle.
I'm gonna pull up a quote here while Joe answers the.
Yeah, I mean, I think your lifestyle drives that a lot. If you want to retire and continue having 3 vacation homes and a Lambo and everything else, you're going to need a lot more money. If you're just a middle class, you just want to retire and continue living the exact same way you were before, then
When you retire,
I would say, I know a while ago it was like, I think if you had like 500 grand at 65, it was like that was enough or whatever. Nowadays, it's probably fucking 2 million. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
what's the quote?
But
It's a quote that this guy Chris Williamson posted. He posts a lot of these quotes, right?
Motivational guy?
Big podcaster. But it's a quote from someone else. There's this common feeling that your life has not begun and that your present reality is like a prelude to some idyllic future. Whereas like this idealism is a mirage that'll fade as you approach, revealing that the prelude you rushed through was, in fact, the one to your death.
David, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Joe, the point is, in life, no, I'm taking this at a deep level.
Explain that as if I was a golden doodle,
Okay,
dude.
all right, I'll explain it to a golden doodle. In life, it always kind of feels like a lot of times like, oh, like once we build that house and we get in there, then life is going to be sick. Or like, once I like quit this job and get to that next thing, then like my life is going to be sick. But then you get there and then it's like, okay, well then like, once we have like the kids and the kids are in school, then my life's going to be sick. And I think a lot of times in life, at least I think it's true for me, I think it's true for a lot of people, we're just kind of like constantly like pretending like we're waiting for something.
Yeah.
And then we're never like feeling like, okay, now I'm actually living my life. Like we never get to that point and then we're just fucking dead.
I mean, I had that thought the other day, though. I think humans do very well having something to look forward to. Even something simple like I'm seeing my friend I haven't seen in a while, but I think we always have to have something coming. Otherwise, you're just stagnant.
But then a lot of
you
times
fall in
it's-
like depression and shit pretty quick if you have nothing to look forward to.
But a lot of time it's like an excuse to not
Yeah, no,
enjoy
I agree.
the
I
present
agree.
moment.
You should definitely enjoy the moment. But at the same time, like I have to, like, I push myself a lot harder knowing that, like, all right, next year I want to do this, and next year I want to. If I ever was like, I'm good with exactly where I'm at right now, I feel like at that point I'm done.
It's
Like,
an
that's
impossible situation. I think you're right. Because if you're not working towards something, you start to feel a little
Like,
bit
if you're not looking
depressed.
forward to anything, what
But
are you
then the
doing?
danger is you're looking forward to something, and then you're like, so my life right now doesn't really matter until I get to that point.
I would say for your question, I think, are you saying like how much money in general or when you retire? You're saying what's the number? I would say with the lifestyle that I want to lead, current money situation, 20 million.
So you
I
need
think-
$20 million.
No. I'm saying I think at 20 million, I would like, I'm good. I don't need to work anymore. Like I think 20 million is the number where like,
what a fucking...
was that high?
So many people are listening. Like,
People is like he's gonna say like 1 million maybe. Like
No,
1.
bro. And nowadays, like, what
you think you have to get to $20 million?
Max, I am looking at a $700,000 home
Okay.
with $250,000, $300,000 down.
You're at 19 million now.
No, I'm saying your monthly mortgage on that is like almost $6,000.
but-
I'm saying $1 million is not enough. If you had $1 million and that's where you're like, I'm good, you're fucked after 2 years.
But with me
It's
and
not
Max,
gonna last very long.
Me and Max were talking. If you have 10 million in the bank,
Yeah.
and based on the various different things that's invested into, whether that's stocks, liquidities,
5% is
yeah,
safe.
money markets, 5% on average. With 10 million in the bank, you're making $500,000 a year. That should more than cover
Yeah.
your expenses, even with the stupid
I
property
agree.
taxes.
Yes.
I think
But
10 million is a number that would make me feel like really happy and comfortable just
you-
seeing that in the bank.
Are you safe at 10 million? Are you like, I don't need to work anymore? Or you're like, now I have this fallback, but you're going to continue to accumulate. He's asking at what point to use, I don't need to make any more money. I'm good.
Well, what's crazy
I think at 10 million, because if you're making $500,000 a year,
What's
not
crazy
doing
is
anything,
if
But
you
what if you're
get-
not? What if you lose it?
If you get to $10 million,
Fucking Robin Hood goes down. SBF makes his comeback out of prison, takes Robin Hood down, and now your 10 million disappears on you. I feel like 10 is not, especially not for your lifestyle, not with your houses and shit.
bro, if you think you having $10 million is not enough to live your lifestyle, I think you're way too bougie of a person.
No. I'm saying I don't think 10 million would be my number where I'm like, I am no longer going to do anything. I'm just going to sit on a beach. I'm done.
Okay, well, how about this?
You said stop
You know what's
accumulating
wild?
wealth. You're done.
You know what's wild?
But I think at 10 million, I could say I can basally take my foot off the gas and not stress myself
agree.
out about anything.
But you're
I
gonna
can just like
continue doing
work.
something.
I can like leisurely work.
But
At 5, even at anyway, go ahead.
What is your number that like you are not going to work anymore? If you never got to make another dollar in your life, what is that number?
But I don't think I'm just gonna want to sit there. And fucking,
Okay, I know, but I'm saying I feel like 20s are pretty good.
If I was motivated to not want to ever work
Yeah.
again in my life, I don't know. I still think 10, man.
Okay, all right.
And hopefully SBF doesn't.
you know
come
what's
back for me.
crazy you know what that would do with your psyche is like let's say you do have $10 million and you're making $500,000. We're not even talking about tax, but like $500,000 in interest, 5%, right? Yeah. So let's say so 500,000 divided by 12, $41,000 a month. You would be like, okay, as long as I don't spend.
That's pre-tax.
Yeah, but let's just say
So
that's
25. Oh my 25 post-tax.
okay,
Just say
$25,000.
I think you're fucking out of your minds.
What?
Nothing.
You don't think we can live on $25K a month?
With mortgages and car
But here's the
payments and
thing.
everything?
I'm
Bro,
telling you-
I think you're cutting it a little closer than you think you are.
What kind
Your
of life are
property
you trying to
taxes and
live?
shit.
$25,000?
I'm not going to get into finances, but if this motherfucker put his mortgage, his property tax, and the 2 cars you just bought all together, I bet you're pushing it.
Yeah, but some months you can spend more.
But
than
I
20.
still have, even if I'm getting that 25, I still have the 10 million in the bank.
But here's the thing: your mental.
It's not like I have nothing in the bank.
I agree.
Your mental would go. You're like, okay, I have to only live on this 25,000, which is a ridiculous statement to say, right? Very privileged place to be if you get to that point. But it would start affecting your mental if that 10 million ever even dropped to 9.8.
Well, that's Joe. That's Joe's, and that's why I think Joe could be right in this extravagant example that if the market drops by 20% one year and now your 10 is at 7.5, and you're not working at all, and you don't have it, you can't just turn on an income stream. You might be like, oh fuck, like what if it goes down another 25?
Not to throw you under the bus, but barring something terrible happening, if 10's the number, you're going to be there in a couple years. You will be in a situation in a couple years where you probably have 10 liquid.
And
You're going to say at that point, I'm good, I'm done.
No, you're
I
gonna
don't
keep
need to do
working.
anything.
But that's
no, you're going
because-
to keep accumulating wealth. So it's not 10, it's a higher number.
But
than
will there be less motivation to keep?
I don't think
know.
so. I don't think it'll slow you down at all.
I feel like-
we have friends that have 10 million liquid and they're fucking keep pushing it.
I think whatever number you think you need in your head, you get to that and you go, okay, now I think I need a little bit more. So like you're always chasing this dollar amount. And what I like
But that's
to
the psychological thing we're just talking about.
Yeah, but like I feel like this current culture of like you need to. It's like if you build a company, right? You're comparing all your friends, and it's like you doing $5 million a year ain't enough. You're a peasant. You got to do you're only doing $10 million a year. You didn't grow to 20 million the next year.
I don't really think like that though.
You don't think like that?
I don't think like that.
How do you think?
I think if I just keep increasing what I'm making a little bit each year, I don't care if someone else is making 100 million. If I keep making a little more each year, that means that my lifestyle can continue to get a little bit more better too.
You don't want a lifestyle creep though, and like I think you should proportionally like what you spent when you had no money versus what you spend when you have money in proportion to your money. I think it's like as long as you kind of keep that. But
That is, I don't know at what point you.
Okay,
so
but like we went to dinner last night, and we didn't know what it was gonna be. That was an expensive bill.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
For 7 of us at this nice restaurant downtown Houston, I think it was
$1,000.
$1,000, whatever. We split it through
7 of us with like a bunch of appetizers,
Bunch of
We got
drinks.
$98
Yeah, dude.
Wagyus.
Pasta bar at Austin, never be beat.
Yeah, that was like
Continue, though.
$3,000.
$750.
My point is that is lifestyle creep. We wouldn't have ever, 5 years ago we would have been shitting our pants when that bill came out. We would have been so afraid.
I would question where it goes to that like ultra lifestyle. I guess if you're not born into it. So I get like obviously there's people that like they.
Well, and let me just say
their
that this
parents
is
have.
it's not a normal occurrence. It's not like we're going to that dinner every night. That's not like a
Yeah.
normal thing. Just to some
But
people.
I guess
understand.
my thing is like when you see these guys that have like fucking a helicopter and a yacht and fucking 3 homes. I'm like, at what point, like, is that you in 10 years from now when you have 50 million? You're like, oh, I can get a house over in Hawaii. I'm going to buy this jet.
I don't think
Or is
so.
that like the family money? Like the family's $100 million and then like the kids are born into it and they just keep.
That's
like, who's the first person that's like, we need a yacht? Like, I need a Sour Strips yacht.
I don't.
Like, is
I got
that-
something to tell you guys.
But I'm like, is that like the person, like, even if you had $50 million, you're not going to buy a $5 million yacht. I don't see you doing that.
No, I think like after you're in this house, and even the house that we just moved into in Austin, I'm never gonna have some urge to move into some crazy.
See, so where do those
other
people
house.
come from? Like, where are these motherfuckers that have like 2 private jets, 10 houses across the like is that like?
But you're agreeing.
I'm saying I don't think I would ever do that.
Well,
I'm always like,
I don't think I would
shocked
ever
when
buy
hear,
a yacht or
like
private
when
jet.
somebody like I met one of
Yeah,
our
but
friends'
here's the
wives
question. Here's the
has,
question.
like their family has 4 private jets. I'm like,
let's say you start doing really well. I feel like your lifestyle can creep up because let's say you have 3 kids and they're all under the age of 7 or something, right?
Yeah.
And you have 3 kids and you're like, oh, we want to go on this vacation. You're like, man, I could spend like, $40K and just take a private plane to where we want to go, and then I don't have to worry about like all the kids going to the airport and like all the stuff, and like if kids are crying, you got a baby.
That's a big lifestyle.
yeah,
creep
but see,
right
I
there.
think you do that a couple times, and then you're like, let's just buy a jet.
Maybe that's
Then
how
you
you
buy
get
a
there.
jet. Then you're in Cabo, and you're like, yeah, this hotel's pretty cool, but there's a mansion right there. Maybe I just buy that.
I try to live.
Maybe that's
like,
how it happens. I never understood how people end up
step
with
by
like
step, I guess.
spending millions a year. Even if you have the money, I never understood that lifestyle. Like we have chefs, we have butlers, it's like,
I don't-
where does that come from?
But I also feel like my kids need to experience some hardship. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't even want to get to that lifestyle because then I'd feel like my kids are going to be pieces of shit.
I have this thought all the time because now that I live in Houston, I see a Rolls Royce Cullinan. It's a $600,000 SUV.
Yep.
I see like 50 a day, and I always have the thought.
Where?
Not even exaggerating.
Okay,
I see
how many a
probably
day?
20 a day. 20 easy.
How many of those are the same one you saw twice?
No. And all right, and then if you want to like break that out, like I probably see 2 or 3 Aventadors a day. Like there's cars everywhere. You'll see Pistas rolling down. You'll see TDF. My point is, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Like if you make 300 grand a year, like you're doing pretty good. But
Yes.
you're not on that level. You're not buying a $500,000 fucking car.
Okay,
It's just
okay,
crazy to me to see like where's this money coming from when you see 20 of them.
Yeah,
like,
but
these people
bro,
got money.
it's different. Like it's also like different ways people spend because there has been, and I don't mean this in like a bowstring way, but there's plenty of people that I know, that I see, that I know that I financially, I know that I am making substantially more money than them.
And they're flexing way
but
more.
they're buying things
Yeah.
that I would never buy, not because I think they're dumb. I'm just like I wouldn't buy this crazy car or like they buy like this crazy
Or-
Rolex, and I'm like, I know they're not balling like
Well,
that.
a better perspective for this one is like
But people could be
Tanglewood
flexing.
is a neighborhood in Houston, or even your neighborhood. There's a neighborhood in Houston, Tanglewood. Every house in there's over $3 million, and there's probably 500 rooftops in there. So there's 500 people in Houston that are buying $3 million homes like it's no big deal. Like I'm just saying the amount of wealth that you don't even realize is out there is like holy shit.
Here's the question, because all of us have passed whatever this point is. The question is, at what point? Because in the past, I think, and this might have been 5-10 years ago, people would throw out, after you make more than $80K a year, your happiness is unchanged.
Yeah.
I know the number.
So what's the point for people watching, based on your experience and your experience, that once you got past that, like there was no financial stress and you felt like within reason you could do what you wanted. Maybe that means you could fly first class internationally or whatever it is. Like you're not like, you feel like, okay, I'm not like I'm balling now, but pretty much like I'm balling now. Like anything I make from this point on is just nice to have.
My number's a lot lower than you're gonna think it is.
I think mine too. I think, and this is still like, if you're doing this number, I think you're
Killing
like,
it.
Yeah, you're killing it. I think if you can make 10 grand a month, I think you can pretty much do.
After taxes or before taxes?
We'll say after. Like you're
So 120 a year, so you're making on
200.
maybe 180 or something. Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
like I really think if you hit $200,000 a year, like
pre-tax.
you live in. We'll do an easier like 250, which is just a really fucking high number, right?
That's my number. I would say 250
if you
is
hit
my-
250 or you hit 500, like I think you can live, unless you're just like you want to keep like balling. But as far as like your stress, your comfortability,
you can
do
go
nice
out to a
things.
dinner like we said, and that's not going to stress. At $250 a year, that's not going to stress you out paying for a dinner.
I think if you're making $258,000 a year, I think you're making more than that. You're only adding, I think it was Abraham Lincoln. They said, "Mo money, mo problems." That when you do, if you want to make $1 million a year or $2 million, and I'm not talking, there's some ladies that show their buttholes and can do that, and I'm not saying, but like for most of the time, for you to make that kind of money, and then you make even more than that, the amount of problems, headaches, stress that come along with that, a lot of people aren't going to want to deal with, or like think it's not going to be that big of a deal. But you're like, my life was so much simpler.
But depends too. If you're single guy living in an apartment, $150 a year, you can live like a fucking
Probably
king.
even
If
probably
you're-
even $100 a year. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're married with 2 kids and want to live in a
250.
big house, now, I mean, 200 doesn't go that far when you're feeding 5 people and taking care of bills and everything else. I guess it depends where you're at. If you have 4 kids,
But here's
But
250 is
to,
not as-
to Max's point, let's say to get above 250 means either, because 250 there's some career path that will get you there with the salary.
I mean, what do you want to say? 250 is 16
yeah,
grand a month.
everyone's
after
like
taxes?
everyone's perspective
no,
is
but
just
my point is if you can make 250 a year based on getting to the top of your career, or by like running your own business, but you don't have a big team. Maybe you have like a couple agencies you work with. You don't even have direct employees. To scale from there is now, like you're saying, now is where you take on like a lot of liabilities to get to above that.
yes.
I would say I don't think there's any, at least for me personally, between 150 and 300,000. I don't think my lifestyle would change.
But
than those
here's the
numbers.
thing. I look
Yeah,
I think
back.
I could
agree.
live the same lifestyle that I was living at 150 at 300. I'd just be saving a lot more money.
With wife and kids and a
it
house.
changes a
Okay,
little bit,
yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. The money I'm making now versus the money I was making 5 years ago, nothing about my lifestyle has changed. Like,
Well, you're about to build a big house.
yeah, but
Yeah, you
I've
pick up
been.
the tab at Popsito's a lot too. I've noticed that recently.
That's because I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah, but it used to be like we would go every other one. Like I'd pay, you pay, and then recently you're like, nah, I got this one.
I'm a nice guy.
I haven't got that treatment.
Yeah,
I'm a nice
no,
guy.
Max is rich as fuck.
I almost did the tab thing
Sorry,
last
forget
night.
my wallet.
I was going to do the tab thing last night and get the whole bill,
Did you saw it?
but I said we're a couple men. Let's split it.
yeah.
But see, when I was a kid, now me looking back and realize like, okay, I didn't live like, I can tell my parents didn't have a lot of money, but like my parents, I had everything. I had food. I had everything I needed.
I agree.
I lived in a double wide house. I didn't live in like a big home at all.
I grew up in a small house.
Yeah, so I'm like, but like my parents weren't making over 100 even combined. No fucking way.
And I had
my stepmom stayed at home. My dad was in the military and worked a bunch of odd jobs. Like he wasn't making. He was probably making $40K a year or something.
Also like,
and I was fine as a kid.
Not to beat that drum, but also no, I get that, but also like
I agree.
When
I think
we
you need
were,
less
when we were
money than you think you
kids,
do.
groceries for fucking $4 was $20. Now it's $150. I'm just like the times have changed a little bit.
The equivalent of $40K back then a year is probably like $65K a year or something now.
It's like 30% inflation.
But like
the average salary is still what, like 50? But that's all.
I think it's higher now. I think
well,
it's
that's
like
all age.
65.
did your parents?
It's all age ranges.
Did your parents ever talk to you about money in some aspect? I never. No one ever had a conversation of like
we
you should
can't
save
afford stuff. Oh no, not to me. I mean, there were definitely times like as a child where it was like I want a new video game. I was like, no, we can't afford that right now. And I'm like, oh okay. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I would have to do like chores around the house to get my like $10 a week, and then I'd have to save up. I feel like that's how I learned the value of money.
No one ever had to talk like with me directly. Like you should save this much and do this and
you know what's something crazy I saw that I really I liked it is so my future niece and nephew, Taylor's niece and nephew, right? We had Easter over at our house, and like the boy and the girl were over there, and they're great. But we had like the cornhole boards out in the house, and I go to the nephew and I go, hey, like if you make this, I'll give you $1. If you make it, he made it, right? So I was like, fuck. I went and got $1, gave it to him, and I go, and like I go like, what are you gonna buy with this $1, right? And he literally goes, I'll probably invest it. And I said, what? He's 10, and I go, wait, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I'll invest it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, so he had this app. It's not like a Robinhood or something. I don't know. It's like a kid-friendly investing thing where like parents can like put like allowance on it. But he had like 2 shares of Apple and like one like a eighth of a share of like Tesla. And he's like, yeah, I'll put the $1 in like Apple or something. But I'm like, what?
Rich kid shit.
Bro, he had like $30.
No, I know.
But I'm like, the fact that a 10-year-old
kids in the hood aren't fucking investing $1 into Robinhood.
But the fact that a 10-year-old goes, I'm gonna take this $1 and just maybe buy like $1 worth of Apple. I was blown away.
Yeah, I go spend on a video game immediately.
Yes.
I mean,
or crack.
I remember when video games jumped from 40 a game to 60 a game.
They were $20. Need for Speed Underground was $20.
But
games were always $50.
No,
bro.
they weren't. I promise you. Like Madden was $19.99.
No, they went from
like
20.
PS1.
They went from 20 to 40 to 60. I think. And they stayed at 60.
70.
They went to 70.
$69.99. Yeah.
You know what I can never understand?
My point is, I was pissed when they jumped.
Bro, yeah. I get okay. I have, and this is.
And they got worse. Hold it. They got worse. Like old games used to be like the story mode in old game would keep you busy for fucking 20 hours. Well, new games are like they don't do shit. I think they just reskin it and fucking.
They just pump out new games now. I think back then there'd be like every game would be like an original new concept.
Yeah, like Need for Speed Underground was $20, and I played that game for thousands of hours. And then the new Need for Speed's a piece of shit for $70.
That was one of the first ones you could customize the car.
Yeah, it had a lot of yin yang twins playing in the background and stuff.
Or even think about like Diablo 1's story was insane. Now the new Diablo, I'm like, this sucks.
Listen.
Games got
this is the same mindset that I have now that I would have had back in the day. I see a lot of stuff because I'm still a big nerd. I watch a lot of like whether it be a new game comes out or like an expansion comes out, right? And it's like the expansion is $10, right? And people lose their minds about this, or that a game is $70, right? They lose their mind, and I understand people's financial situations, but I go, you're saying that $50 to $70 for a potential 20 to 30 hours of fun is I think the ratio is appropriate. Like I think
the movie's $20 and it's 2 hours.
Yeah, if anything, that's shitty. But I think a game being $50 to $60 and an expansion where you can get another 5 hours for $10.
I like
that's a lot of enjoyment.
A little bit of controversial here, but I actually like. So it was
how much is that an hour, bro?
It was floated for a while that video games go to like a subscription model, which is like EA Play and stuff.
$3 an hour.
Yeah. But there was an idea at one point that like you would pay hourly. So you download the game, and then if you play it for 10 hours, it costs you $5 or something like that.
Nah, that's stupid.
No, I actually like that because how many times do you buy a game, play it fucking 2 times with your friends, and never play it again? And I spent $60.
That's why on Steam you buy it.
I gotta run the bathroom real quick. You guys keep going.
I kind of have to do the same. Can we just cut and come back?
We're almost done.
I know, but I have to pee so bad.
Oh my God.
I was thinking about it. I didn't want to be an asshole, but now that he did it,
the last 10 minutes, bro.
Why the lights just flicker?
I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna pee too. I'll go to the other bathroom. Monologue, dude. You keep saying you're gonna do a monologue.
I could do it.
Go for it.
All right. I'm just gonna recite all the Pokemon in order. Okay, here we go. Let's see how far I can get. This one take. Here we go. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. Is it Rattata next? No. Is it Nidoran, Nidorino, Nidoking? I'm just going to start naming Pokemon out of order. Scyther, Pinsir, Snorlax. We're going to chop this. Okay, we'll pick it back up in a second.
Look, I know we left at the same time and got back at the same time, but me and David did not cross swords.
Y'all cross wieners?
We had 2 different bathrooms.
I
This
never
looks suspicious, but
I never as a kid like crossed pee paths.
Maybe once with my cousin.
You and your cousin touch wieners?
No, not the wieners.
Me and my cousin touch wieners.
Wiener.
Just the stream.
All right, dude. I feel like this is a low energy podcast. We got to step it up.
What's wrong with video games?
I don't know. I feel like y'all are kind of tired. I'm tired. I just feel like I'm not bringing my A game right now.
Well, then
I feel like
let's wrap it up here. Bring another topic.
I mean, this is on you. What do you got?
See, that's the problem, dude. Everyone's like,
you're the captain.
I think this has been a good podcast.
I think
Maybe
it's been-
I feel like I'm like half asleep over here. My eyes are fucking sealed shut. Dude, allergies are bad. I never had allergies. For 25 years of my life, no allergies. And in the last 3 years, I'm just like,
yeah, I would actually
dying.
like. I would be the guy that like. I thought I was cooler than everyone else because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm allergic to shit. I
Same.
was pollen, and now it's like my eyes just.
Bro, it's oak tree. I don't know. It's something in Houston that's really bad.
There's a
And,
lot of
like,
pollen in Texas right now. Like a
Yeah,
lot.
dude,
Yeah.
it's rough. That's why I'm getting the white truck instead of the black truck because I'm sick of my truck being fucking yellow.
So Christian's getting the black truck.
I think I'm gonna give him the black one, yeah. Which I think he'll be happy about because he wants.
He wants the black
yeah.
one. He said, "Yeah,
Yeah, dude, my truck is literally tinted yellow for like 5 months out of the year.
that sucks."
Yeah.
Maybe I got the right. I haven't revealed my car yet, but maybe I'm with the right color.
Did you reveal either of them?
I was gonna go with black. I've revealed the Porsche.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, black. It looks really good when it's clean, but it's not clean long here.
Yeah.
And it rains here so much.
Yeah.
This is what the people want to hear right now, dude.
Oh, we really stepped up the energy on this
There
one.
we go.
No.
Now people are gonna get hooked in at the beginning with the political talk. That's
I mean, dude,
it's nice to know that Max is a Republican. I've always
yes,
wanted to know.
official. It's
Yeah.
official.
Do you think it's better
Max is a little Trump supporter.
that I'm a Republican, or do you wish I was a liberal?
So we could have argued more.
I would talk so much shit to you if you're a liberal. Yeah, you don't.
You know,
want to do that.
back in college, one of my buddies would always like, whenever like someone would make some random comment, he would just go, "They're probably a liberal." Now I'd never know what it meant.
It's, bro,
It was
it's
like a liberal, it was like a diss.
It's a spectrum, dude. You're on the spectrum.
You're on the spectrum. We're all on
It
the
is a because like I would say I'm very conservative, but I don't think that like homeless people should be like eliminated. I'm also for like we should use tax money to help homeless people and maybe clean up the streets a little bit. I feel like you can be both. I don't think you have to be one way or the other.
I think that's a big part of the problem, right? I can be.
We're back in politics.
On one issue, I can
Yeah.
can maybe considered liberal, and another topic, on average, I'm more conservative. But
Yeah,
I don't
it-
just like
it is a-
group think that like, oh, the fucking Republican
The
Party
country is
said
very
this.
split right now. Yeah, I mean you
Yeah.
have a lot of people that believe you're either this or that. I'm saying Max could be, but we're gonna see which way you vote because I'm gonna drag your ass to the poll.
Wouldn't
You're
one
voting.
of the wouldn't one
We're
of the que-
filming it. We're
I am
vlogging it.
taking you to the fucking polls.
Wouldn't one of the questions be like, if your kid is in school, do you think that the teachers should teach the curriculum, or do you think that they should involve their opinion on their thoughts?
That's a wonderful question. I believe it should just be curriculum.
I believe.
But at this point, I don't know if I trust who's creating the curriculum.
That too, but that's a whole different issue.
What do you
But
think?
yeah,
What do you think of homeschooling?
I'm
every
open to it.
homeschool kid I know
Bro,
is weird.
I can't. Well, what am I gonna? I'm gonna teach my kid.
no, it's online.
calculus.
It's online now.
No,
It's
no,
like
yeah,
courses
yeah,
online.
yeah.
They just sit. They have a computer teacher.
So you're telling me if you're a homeschooled kid,
Yeah.
you would just be like, "Okay, Daddy, I'm ready to go to school. Got my apple," and he sits down at the kitchen table and just.
I
says,
mean,
"Oh,
I'm sure you
school."
would probably make a little room for. If you're going to do homeschooling, you have 18 rooms in your new house.
I got to
Just
build
pick
a
one.
homeschool room now.
Yeah.
You can.
I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I'm pro homeschool.
Usually
dude.
the homeschool kids have a lot of social problems.
But let's say you would have to
Yeah.
find a way to replace the socialization,
Yeah,
whether
'cause
it's
that's
through
where they, like,
sports
lack.
teams or other activities.
Usually homeschool kids are really book smart, not street smart.
Well, the
like-
idea is you're more worried about the knowledge they're gonna receive. So you're like, oh, on a homeschool, so he is like a more knowledgeable, more educated kid, or are you like, I'm so worried about the danger of school? Like what's the biggest reason why do people do homeschool?
Well, my reason would be that, and there is a statistic right now that I think it's for every 13 teachers who identify as a Democrat now. There's one who would identify as Republican, and with a lot of the more extreme wokeness, we can call it. The schools in their granted, our kids won't be going to school for another 7, 8, 9 years.
None of my teachers ever gave me their political views.
We're in a different.
Ours did. Mine 100% did.
My science teacher just said she hated Bill Nye the Science Guy. Would never put Bill Nye on. I was like, well, let's watch Bill Nye.
My science teacher hated him too.
And she was like, because I was in an elevator one time and someone asked for an autograph and he said no. And ever since then, I said, I'm not showing your stuff.
But I think things are a little bit more charged now than when we were going through school.
Yeah.
So I would be if my kid was about to go to school like next year, I'm not sure what I would do. Hopefully,
not to mention like a lot more drugs in school now. Just shooting once a week now. I feel like those are things you gotta. I'm sure there are parents that homeschool because they're worried.
So do you think it goes home for it? The best possible outcome as a kid: homeschool, private school, public school, no school.
No,
I think ideally you find a public school where they're less of an agenda there.
Yeah, when you're also the other thing too is like your kid's gonna form an opinion pretty quick. So I feel like maybe private school, homeschool, like elementary school, maybe middle school. I feel like high school they can go to a public school because at that point they already have a pretty good idea of like their family values.
At that point.
No, but I'm like my kid at 12 will be a pretty good like
your kid's
he's gonna know which way he
sure.
fucking thinks. I don't know if it's a big like I don't know if a high school teacher is like skewing my kid's perception as much as I would think.
What do you mean the way he thinks at 12?
I'm saying like at 12 he's gonna know like all right my family leans this direction. I believe these things. I have these values.
Bro, at 12 years old I was not going. Yep, my mother sure is a.
Well, a lot of the issues in schools have been like young kids. To Joe's point, like saying, "Oh, it's okay if you're not a boy or a girl," or like these are conversations teachers are having. If they're going into high school, maybe they already have a stronger identity.
Yeah.
And they know BJJ at that point too. So
yeah, I feel like I wouldn't put them. Private school kids are little snot nosed assholes.
Yeah, I know private school.
And homeschool kids are awkward as hell. I feel like public school is the move, but maybe just a good
private
where
school,
you're going. That's a very good. That's like the best public school.
Damn straight.
Yeah, no, it actually is. But like if you live downtown Houston, like I'm probably not getting.
I think maybe you're onto something. Homeschool up until middle school, maybe or high school,
and then maybe a private. Yeah.
No, then public. I don't know.
All the private school like girls that I knew when I was in high school or even college or whatever.
Yeah. Great at sucking dick. It's fine. We know what you're gonna say. It's all right.
That's not what I was going to say.
That's what you were going to say.
That's not what I was going to say.
I will say all the kids that we bought drugs from in high school were the private school kids. Yeah, the private school kids would come over to our side and sell us drugs.
When I saw someone at private school, in my head, I just meant, oh, your family's rich. Like that was my perception. If you went to a private school, it's because you were like, your family was like so rich that they're like only the rich kids go to private school. I never wrapped my head around like.
Well, yeah, because it's some of these private schools are like $40,000 a year.
It's like college tuition for a lot of them.
But I guess the idea is like there's only like 12 kids in the class or 20 or 12. I don't know.
Or you have like what we have in Houston, we have a lot of private schools that are religious.
A lot of them are,
like Christian academies and stuff. So if you want your kid to go into that
those religious private school kids, the girls.
No, I know. Yeah.
They're freaky.
Not something I'd want my kid to be doing.
I feel like they're more degenerate at private schools, maybe.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
They're like an
entitled, elitist type of thing, maybe.
So you're saying the ratio, the probability of your kid turning out like a crazy person in a public school is higher than private?
No, private higher than public.
So why would you do private?
Because public, the problem is like in a private school, I know the teachers are teaching a certain, like with a Christian academy, I know what their curriculum is. Yeah. With a public school, like there's nothing stopping the kindergarten teacher from convincing my son that he's a fucking penguin with purple hair. Yeah. I can't stop that. I have no control. Like he can come home and be like, "Oh, Miss Sherman said that I could be a girl if I want to," and like, no, what?
No, and
you have no control over that shit.
And people and they're siding with the teachers.
Or
over
like
the parents.
I saw the other day that like there's a history class that is teaching now, or they're talking about the January 6th riots as like the biggest threat to democracy of all time a public school.
Worse than 9/11.
Yeah, like in a public school, they're teaching kids that. Now, like that's a very split topic. Like in reality, it's a bunch of old white people walking around the Capitol. They were let in by the cops. Like it's pretty obvious it was not that big of a fucking threat. But you have public school teachers telling their kids that this is the biggest threat of all time. And if you don't want the country to fall apart and go into whatever, you got to vote for. They're telling you who to vote for, how to think, and all this shit.
Private schools might as well. The benefit is that private school, you're literally paying for everything directly, so you can go in and be like, and if enough parents go in and are like, we don't like this teacher, they're gonna be like, well, this teacher's got to fucking go because they're paying.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen all the things where like parents go to the public school things because they find like in the library there's a book in like a fifth grade library about how to give a blowjob. It's like, why is this in the fifth grade library? And it's like, well,
they have those books.
Yeah,
no, this is a big thing. No, it's a big thing, and then they're telling
Karma Sutra.
Who's the
They're telling the parents to go fuck themselves.
Yeah,
too.
there was a.
They're
there
like,
was
no,
a
like that's what we teach.
There was a senator that read. It's actually funny as fuck to watch because he's like an 80-year-old man. He's like reading from a book to say how disgusting it is, but he's like reading it.
No, it's
like then I sucked the dick from Tim. It's like this like 80-year-old man like on live TV reading it. And it's like what
Man,
the fuck?
you know,
no, and there's with like images in these books
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Bro,
yeah, shit's crazy.
Back in my
Yeah.
day, when if I
Like I don't want my kids going anywhere near that.
if there was a book that we had to read in class and it was like what it'd be like To Kill a Mockingbird
Yeah.
or something, and if like they said like bitch in the
Oh,
book
like
or something,
underlined,
I'd be
highlighted.
like,
yeah, like penis. Like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
like I'd read out class and I'd be like, can I say it? Can I
But
say it?
we lived in a more wholesome, innocent time. That's what we're saying here. Kids, they're not everyone, but it seems that definitely in situations, kids
know what it is?
are being groomed to. I hate the groom. People aren't like that word, but they're being groomed to be a little more like degenerate or confused.
Or you had like public schools that had like drag shows. They had like a bunch of drag people. I don't know. Men in drag come in for like an assembly to do like a performance during lunch. It's like, why do little kids
We were
need to
doing
see drag
Tybo
guys?
back in the day.
Yeah, I'm like, we had Mattress Matt come give us a fucking talk about selling mattresses and shit.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
cool. I don't know why like a kindergarten class needs like drag reading hour. We don't need that. No
Well,
matter
that-
what your argument is, they're like, kids don't need to see that.
Or
shit.
there's
It's
been like
fine.
dildos in schools.
Yeah.
brought
What?
there by
This is where the
brought there
public school
by
thing
like
is like,
the
maybe
principal.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
so maybe-
principal's bringing a dildo.
Oh, I probably look it up right now.
I'll
dude.
pull up a story
Shit's
right here
wild.
for you. Yeah.
My point is, at least with the private school, you have a decent idea. I'm sure there's some evil people in there too.
Did
but
y'all
like,
ever do the condom on the banana in the class?
No, but now that I think about
Or
it,
like on the cucumber?
they had free condoms in our health class in high school.
Yeah,
it was like
yeah,
in a bowl.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you could. Maybe you could request them.
No, ours were like in a bowl on our desk. You just they were the colored ones. Or like each one's a different color, like a red pack and a green pack.
Wait, okay, listen to this.
Yeah.
This was actually at a private school.
David's basically Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
Get the phone out.
Right. The dean of students at an elite $42,000 a year Chicago prep school has been filmed bragging about kids playing with dildos and butt plugs in class while giving tips on having queer sex.
See, so maybe I'm not doing private school either. Maybe homeschool is the only option. You should put that. Tell the architect you want a homeschool room.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Well, actually, the whole point of me even asking about the homeschool thing was more
Yeah.
like I don't get how like I'm supposed to teach my kid how. I don't even know.
It's
stuff.
online. So my little step nephew is homeschooled, and he is a little socially awkward, but it's all online. Like I don't think they actually do anything. Like I think they just set him up with a computer, and there's a teacher on the computer. Which at that point I'm like, shit. Do you need to watch that first? Because like, what if that's not?
Here's-
like I don't even know how you.
But no, you could probably. I imagine by the time our kids are at the age of going to school, again, we're talking 7 to 9 years from now, that the homeschool options will have been even more advanced and developed,
Well,
and you maybe can
well,
pick
it'd
something
be
that
VR
the
aligns.
problem
school,
too
dude.
is like different.
But you can probably find at that point something that aligns a little bit more with your beliefs.
There's different levels. So what I've noticed though is there's different levels of like course stuff. So for homeschooled kids, it's like a different level where like he's taking a 7th grade course, and I like look over his shoulder and he's like coloring in the lines, or like it's like color Spain on a map, and I'm like, this isn't 7th grade. But in the homeschool world, like I don't know if it follows the same thing. He's on a 7th grade class right now, but the shit he's doing is stuff we were doing in like 4th grade.
He's
So
at a
I don't-
5th grade reading level.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful with that shit too, because then it's like he could graduate. Like I'm seeing what he's doing, and he's not on a 7th grade level, but he is on a 7th grade level on homeschooling. So
Well,
I feel
again,
like
I
you
think
have to.
I think by the time that we get to have kids that age, private school's gonna be different, public school's gonna be
Yeah.
different, college is gonna be different, homeschool's gonna be different.
Here you go.
True.
Would you be swayed by your friends? Example, let's say your 5 closest friends all have, let's say all 5 of our closest friends have kids at the same time, they're the same age, they're all going to school at the same time. All 5 of your friends are like, we're all doing public school. Would you be like, I'm going to do public if
Go
they're
to the
all
same
doing,
school?
if
We're
they're
all
all
the same
doing
school district?
homeschool, would you be like, oh, I'm going to do homeschool
But yeah.
since all my friends are?
But
Are you like,
But if am I in Austin, y'all are doing this in Houston?
in this world, everyone's like near each other. But
If they're all going to the same school, then I think like that sways me. I want the kid to be around his friends.
Yes, if they're at the same physical school, I would
Yeah.
agree.
If we're on different places, I don't care what y'all do.
I mean, y'all don't fucking talk about your penises at school. You don't listen. If the teacher starts talking about it, you guys leave together.
Yeah, I guess maybe we'd all have to have kids at the same time for them to all be in the same school. Though,
And then,
so.
and then y'all all have to move to Austin.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
you-
move back here. Just give it time, dude. You'll
yeah,
be back.
more of us are here than in Austin.
But
I
got some plots of land right around my house.
I give it a year before you move back to Houston.
No fucking way.
Maybe.
You'd have to build. No, he'd have to build a house. You're not gonna find the house you want here. You'd have to build it.
Yeah.
I was telling
On a
him,
lot
I was
next
like,
to Max's though. There you go.
I was telling him like, what's crazy is the house that David bought like 4 years ago. 3 years
Which
ago.
one?
What,
Which
in
one?
Riverstone?
In yeah, in Riverstone.
Oh yeah.
Like 3-4 years ago. Very nice house,
Yeah.
beautiful. But I was like, bro, imagine if you moved out of the house in Austin to move back into that really nice house, you would be like, this is such a downgrade compared to the house you're in now.
Bro, Riverstone. I bet that house is worth so much money right now.
We bought it 500, sold it 650.
I bet it's close to $1 million right now.
What?
Riverstone's done. Like, there's no houses available out there anymore.
Really, we
so
went
it's
back
all-
and talked to the people like 6 months after we sold it. We went back and talked to the people who bought it, and they were like, "Oh, it's great that we sold it. We got it at 650 because the one across the street just went for like 850." And I was
Dude,
like,
I bet it's $1 million right now.
But I probably could have held out a few months
Yeah, you
longer
idiot,
and
bro.
got in
Yeah.
like 800. Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, I'm looking for homes right now, and even like Shawley's house was a very nice house, but it's not $1 million home, but they're like 1.1.
Really?
And yeah, like that neighborhood in that back is like
How much?
million
How much
plus.
do you think Max's house will go for in a
Right
year?
now?
In a year from now when he sells it? Well,
I think you could list it for one. I don't know if you're gonna get one, just because.
so you think in Riverstone is that being in Riverstone increases
no.
the value that much? Because he's in.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
nice
The
spot
problem is like
also.
Riverstone's a newer area though. He's in a much older area.
It's a nice area.
I know,
And
but
he's
it's
got
just
the
like,
he's
it's a
got
much.
the
I know
the water behind him.
The issue is there's still new houses out there too, though.
I think
so you're
one-
going to be competing. You're going to be selling your house for the same as I can go a little bit down the road and get a brand new house, same size for the same price.
I
That's going to
think
be the hard sell for you.
I
I,
think
You ain't getting Margarita Bar though.
know.
think
but
one. I think one's.
I think you could list it for one. I bet you sell it right under one. Someone's probably going to offer you like $950.
If someone offered me $1.5 million right now, I would move out tomorrow.
I don't think you're getting that.
I would move out tomorrow and go rent somewhere and start building my house now.
You're going to take a loss on your house. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
when you factor in all the expenses, yeah.
I will buy all your outdoor furniture though.
In a year and a half.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you're going to buy new stuff for the new house.
Yeah, $10,000 I'll sell it to.
Okay. We'll work on that.
All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this pod up. Let me take a second and apologize about the lack of energy here. I am gonna go home and sleep or something. I want to get a massage. I'm
getting a massage tonight as well.
yeah.
I also want a massage, but
I'm hungover.
Max's mom's busy tonight.
That's a good joke. I liked it.
Deborah's a nice lady.
Man's tooth. Man.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. Thank you guys for watching this episode. New episodes every Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, unless you don't have one. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're on this podcast streaming service, give us a 5-star review. I don't know what it does, but I think it helps. Make sure you check out David on YouTube. Joe, maybe a video is going to come in a year
Eventually,
or so.
I got it. I'm going to buy a house first. Dude, the character arc here that they don't know about. I
What?
sold my house, sold my car, moved into an apartment, got a new car, 2 new cars, got on TRT, got off TRT, sold the car, got a new car, moved into a house, and then I'm going to post a video. It's going to look like I just went from here to here.
Are you gonna
but
do
there
a-
was a year.
Are you gonna do a life up? Are you gonna do a?
No, I think I'm just going to fucking play it off. Like nothing happened. Like,
mean,
here's my new house.
I would like to watch the video of you going.
I mean,
down.
at the moment, it would look like I sold that house and bought a new house. No one knows the in
I
between.
can't believe you made the decision to go on TRT for 8 months and then
Y'all
Yeah.
scared? Everyone around me scared me, dude.
about
I can't scare you. I'm not on TRT.
I personally
About
know
fertility?
Yes, I know like 8 or 9 people that were on TRT that are all having issues having kids right now, and I think it's more valuable to me to maybe be a little bit of a bitch and have a kid and then get on TRT.
yeah. That's
here's
probably
what
smart.
I
Like
said.
I'm not competing. I don't need to be on fucking
Why
TRT.
don't? If
Probably
you're
the
worried
smart
about
thing.
that, because you were like kind of a pathetic looking human before TRT,
Yeah.
right?
We should save this conversation for the next podcast. This is a good title thumbnail.
You gonna drive back from Austin?
I will.
All right. See you on Saturday.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
No, actually, I said this week we're gonna film one with you, me, and Christian.
Oh, I like that. Christian's very political. You're not
think-
gonna like that.
I didn't realize
That-
Now I
that's
know, I
he's-
know.
he's-
Oh, you
That-
talked last night
Me
about
and him
it?
watch all the same. We and him watch all the same people on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
That one's gonna be the hardcore politics episode.
No, it won't.
And I'm
He's
not
not
gonna
gonna talk
say a
about it,
single thing.
no.
I want you and Christian because I think y'all are just gonna.
I don't think Christian's gonna talk about
y'all
it.
are gonna yell at each other.
Christian
got
won't-
too much shit.
Christian won't
No,
talk about it.
yeah.
Christian
Joe,
won't talk
Christian's
about
gonna go. No, Joe. No, Joe.
No, me and Christian are pretty aligned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Couple of liberals.
I think all three of us
Exactly.
are. After I talked to Christian last night, me and him were pretty much.
What?
Christian's got a little "Make America Great Again" hat he wears at home with Heidi.
He's gonna hate you saying all these things, but me,
He walks around his house with a little MAGA hat on at all times.
Really?
No, I don't
No, we're talking
fucking
to Christian
know.
last night. Me and him followed the same. We get our information from the same people on YouTube. I think me and him are very aligned.
If you meet someone at a party or something, you're getting along with them, but then all of a sudden you find out that the complete opposite leaning political party, are you like,
Hey, I will
can't-
say
I can't hang out with them.
at a fucking Crawfish boil in Cut and Shoot, Texas. Not a whole lot of diversity on politics there. There actually was a lot of diversity on like people. Like there were a couple of Hispanic people, black people, white people, but
All
everyone
liberal.
there
All very
is
liberal.
extremely conservative. All of them are wearing Trump shirts.
Can
they got
y'all
guns and
believe
shit. I'm
that
like,
there is a place in Texas with the legitimate city name called Cut and Shoot, Texas?
right outside of Conroe?
I literally thought you were making that
No,
up, or
it's
that's
a real
nickname.
place, dude. It's a real place.
That's the most wild
I
city
didn't.
name.
I thought I didn't even know that.
Cut and Shoot.
Cut and
Yeah.
shoot Texas.
Cut and shoot.
That
grab
doesn't sound
and
like a real
stab.
place.
Doesn't sound real.
That doesn't sound real.
It's-
But you know what
it's
does
one of
sound
those
real?
old Western things.
This
The end of
podcast
All right,
ending.
yeah. Okay, goodbye.
Peace.
Stay beastly.